She was looking away. What was I gonna do?
We're live.
This whole day has been just Courtney laughing, pretty much. Like
listen, it's gonna be a great episode because she's got the giggles, like the hardcore.
Wouldn't it be funny if the show started and then she stopped laughing? Like, there's no laughter from her.
I'm just gonna be serious as soon as the show starts.
By the way, I was gonna sing a song for this one.
Jesus.
I was gonna be like, "Guess who's back?
Stop."
I don't think she could handle it.
Knew she's back. Tell Ryan.
Oh, you should just did it and not told us.
Well, he did just do it.
I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Thanks.
it's not recorded.
It's recorded.
We're live, bro.
We're live.
Yeah, but onto the radio show? This is a radio show.
Yes, we are starting.
The show is live, dude.
Oh,
We're doing the show.
He just didn't
The
show
show is
you, I guess.
live.
oh, my mistake.
Everybody was looking away, so
My mistake. Sorry about that.
It's fine. So, by the way, guys, welcome to the second season of Ryan and Noosh Are Dead. I should have saved that for right before the song played. I'll save that for
I'm
later.
glad that we're so professional now. You know, things have gotten so much more.
And I like that you're saying we're so professional because I just realized we can put different masks. So right now you're green.
Thanks,
You
Courtney.
put masks
Thank
on
you.
the face.
Apparently,
Are they like
you can do that
Snapchat
now.
filters?
This
They're
is
Sort of deal?
filters. See Ken, he's green,
He is. He's
Hulk Ken.
and now he's acid.
Well,
Well,
if
he just looks
if
so
I'm
high.
Asian and I'm green, that'll make what color?
what am I?
Oh, jeez.
Purple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look
Okay,
like,
I'm gonna go
what's
back
his face?
to no filter. Okay.
I don't remember.
What?
Carry on.
Okay, well, so I've got.
Avenger.
What's
We,
that?
we look like the Guardians of the
Hawkeye?
Galaxy.
No,
Purple?
the purple guy. The
Hawkeye.
floating guy.
Vision.
Hawkeye.
Vision?
Vision.
He's not purple. He's
Oh,
red.
he's burgundy. He's not red.
I guess that's true.
Learn your colors, bruh.
He's carmine.
Carmine?
This is going off the rails.
So I've got a story to share, but we're not going to mention
One
names.
of my favorite stories.
It's,
Oh, no.
We're not going to mention names. Ryan's the only one who knows the name. I've got this friend. So one time, me and three of my friends were in a car. We're driving out somewhere, and so there was this girl in this car, and there was two other friends, and so this one. I'll call one of the friends military guy, and I'll call the other guy
What do you call the other guy?
video game guy. He really is video game guy. So there's military guy, video game guy, and like no nonsense girl, I guess. So we're in the car. I'm driving.
Who are you?
I'm driving guy.
Okay.
So
These are such original names.
Yeah.
So video game guy, he says he mentioned to his girlfriend something that he once did, and he basically said that he wants to have other guys do this thing, right? And the funny
Didn't
thing
he
was,
also just assume that everyone had done it?
yes, but also here's the thing: between the two of us, between me and military guy, that is, he assumed, well, if either of them did this thing that I'm about to talk to them about, it's gonna be Noosh. Like he just assumed it had to be Noosh. Noosh between military guy and Noosh, it's Noosh. So the thing that he asked us was the two guys in the car, right? And by the way, me and military guy in the front seats, and the girl in this video game guy in the back seat. He says, "Have you guys ever tasted your own semen?" And I swear,
my.
when he asked that question, me and military guy, we looked at each other like, "What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about?" And
Oh, Lord.
and that's when and then after he said that, I was like, wait, between the two of us, you thought I did that? Like,
I mean,
and the thing was, I agreed. Actually, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna. I told him I agree. I said, yeah, between me and like muscular military guy, I guess you'd expect skinny Asian guy to be the semen taster.
Well.
ugh.
So what was the answer to the question?
Well, no, the answer was no. I did take a long time to answer. No,
Yeah.
me and military guy. After we got over our shock of like, what the f, we were like, no, video game guy, we did not do that. You did that, and he's just like, no, I was just really curious. Isn't anybody curious? And we're like, no, we're not. We're really
So
not.
you guys would
No
never.
nonsense girl had tasted it before, though.
Well,
I'm assuming.
Well,
Probably, I guess. I mean,
that would be normal, right?
Both of them, both he and his girlfriend, have tasted his gross.
Oh, I didn't mention. Well, that's a new fact that you shouldn't have mentioned because it creates relationships that might lead people to discovering the truth of who these people are.
You mentioned it before I did, I thought.
Oh no, I didn't.
Oh.
Well, video game
think
guy
you
was
did.
dating no nonsense girls.
Okay.
That's why he's saying these things. Okay, so
I swear to God you said that already.
I'm just waiting for him to slip the actual name in there.
Here's I'm trying. Very hard now. So basically, though, we were like, okay, so you have, and then he described what it tastes like, and then he started describing the texture, and that's when I'm in the middle of driving,
Jesus.
and I stopped, and I was like, I didn't stop driving. I mean, I kept
You
driving.
stopped Get out.
I kept driving.
Get out of my car.
But I was just like, wait. I was stop. Hold on. I said, you're talking about texture? I said, listen, man, this whole time, I thought you like poked your finger in it and just like gave it a little taste. But I was like, how much did you exactly put in your mouth? Well, he put enough. Enough to understand the texture of it. The consistency. He described the consistency.
Great way to start the season.
Dude, I know.
I want to say
Tasting your
something,
own-
but I don't want to.
Start the season tasting your own
but
semen.
given the opportunity, you guys wouldn't?
No.
Why?
Well, why would you expect a girl then to if you won't even
I'm
try
not
your
expecting anyone to.
I don't expect
Okay.
anything from anybody.
Well,
It is at their pleasure. It is at their pleasure.
If they want to be nice and do that for me, thank you so much. You're an angel. But I'm not gonna tell you to like do that. I'm not. Especially if someone was like, "I'll do it if you taste it and you're okay with it." Because no.
Well, me knowing
It's okay.
Well, I'm a downstairs kind of guy, not my own. For the girl, yeah, I don't mind if it's down there. It's a village down there sometimes, but I'm down for that.
Yeah,
But-
no. Same thing.
Okay.
But we're talking about
Yeah.
doing something
Yeah.
for someone else. I'm saying I'm not going to taste myself
But it's
in order-
it's yourself.
in order for her to do
is
that
it
for
worse
You're
if you
egging
taste
us
someone
on.
else's?
Courtney.
Is it worse?
You're like egging us on. Like come
well,
on.
it's
guys.
an interesting
Yeah, it is.
topic, and what's coming to my mind
Because she's the girl here.
and
That's
it's I mean, I'll bring up
Female
bring up a girl
perspective.
thing right here. That was actually discussed on an episode of Sex and the City, and I think
Consistency.
it was Samantha who was
It
with the
would
guy.
be Samantha.
Yeah, because she
Wow.
said that she was giving a guy a BJ, and she said that his spunk tasted gross, and so to make a point, she had him try it. He's like, "Yeah, that's pretty gross," and then I mean, they worked it out in the end, but so that's why I'm
Nah,
just
no
posing
thanks.
it to you
Was
guys.
it pineapple juice?
The funny thing is, though, out of by the way, the kinds of self-depreciating humor that I say about myself is really sometimes I'm shocked at my own
Yeah.
low
low
opinion of myself.
It would be me.
Actually, even in this room with
Yeah.
Ken and Ryan
Yeah.
and me, I'm like, if the situation was, well, I'll taste it if you taste, if that sort of thing, I think if anybody in the room did that, it'd probably be me.
You'd be like desperate. If she was like, "I'll do it if you taste it
Listen,
first."
because Ryan knows there's situations in my life where I have allowed things to happen to me because I'm like, well, I don't want to stop this other thing she's doing. Like, literally,
It's a really fun story that we can't talk about.
Why not?
because
am I okay with it? I don't know.
You're asking me if
Save
you're
it for
okay
later.
with it?
My rule of thumb is that I never want anyone in my family to ever hear this show. I've done a pretty good job. of
Yeah, I mean, if
keeping-
they never hear it, you could say whatever you want.
I well, basically, okay. I'll
doing it.
I won't talk about
We're
myself.
talking about the story.
I'll talk about somebody else. So there's this other guy,
Name news.
not me. Okay.
His name is Dan.
His name
So-
is. It rhymes with douche.
I'll just be okay. Fine. Basically,
Not noosh. He's nega noosh.
he's negative.
douche.
No, Ryan, tell me this: is this story too personal to share on air?
No.
Is this...
I talked about me shitting myself and shitting blood in your hotel toilet. I mean, that's got to be worse than what you did. There's guys who just do what you did and they're like into it. It's not a
Okay,
big deal.
random question.
Nobody's
though,
into
'cause
shitting.
This just popped into my head. Just a random question.
What do you want us to taste now, Courtney?
Well, no, it's still on the same topic. I'm just curious if you think that you guys know your body and yourselves enough that if you were to if somebody somehow got a sample
This is sick, Courtney.
and you were blindfolded and had you taste it, would you be able to pick out your own?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I've never tasted my
tasted
own or anyone else's.
I noticed
so
the
I don't
smell.
think so. Yeah, I know the smell, and that's enough
Whoa,
for me
are
to
there,
be like,
it smells different depending on
Probably.
who it
I
is.
don't know. I don't
I don't
smell
know.
other. I don't smell other people's
That's
semen.
my
I'm just
entire
saying.
perspective on that area of my body.
Dude, Courtney, you're
is
turning things.
yeah.
Dude, she's gonna die.
All
You
I
gotta
know
stop.
is it doesn't
I just-
smell good.
I just
so
like
it
the
can't taste good.
simultaneous freak out that just happened right now.
Well, because think about it, like my entire world of what that area is like is just me.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody
it's
else's
weird. Yeah,
situation.
for like most, I
Yeah.
think for most men and maybe humans in general, I guess women also, but like there's a whole realm of your life that like just no
Yeah.
one else. You don't know what anyone else does. Like people might shit totally different from you. You're the only person in the
Yeah.
world who poops the way you do, or does whatever else, or
Yeah.
tastes the way you do. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of things that we don't know about each other, and we should never know about each other.
We can be good friends, but not that good
Yeah.
friends.
But we are good enough friends to hear your story.
By the way, though, we're not gonna share any of these stories, but I feel like
Wow.
Ryan and you and I have had experiences where I feel like we've crossed thresholds of like that's not what friends usually experience at the same time.
No homo.
No, I mean, well,
No, kind of.
kind of sometimes. Listen, look, can I mention one? Can I mention one thing? I don't know if it's too personal. Well,
Listen, hold on. You can mention the story about me if you talk about the story about yourself.
Okay,
also.
I will.
All right.
No, listen. The realms. I've said there's times where Ryan and I have experienced things where, like, dude, we've crossed like bro moments. One of them, for example, is, and I'm not gonna mention names, okay? But like one time we're all.
I mean,
out-
we're already talking about me.
Yeah.
So
We're all out drinking or whatever, right? We go back to Ryan's place to sleep. There's a girl with us at that time. We go back to Ryan's place to sleep. I sleep on Ryan's bed's like a king size. I
Okay.
sleep on one side of Ryan's bed. Ryan and this girl are on the bed also next to me, and then they do it. And I'm awake, and I'm just bundled up, pretending to be asleep because
Oh
I'm
my.
just
Hey,
like,
really? Hey,
yes,
we were drunk. Also, to be fair, when I realized you were awake, I stopped
he
Where,
did.
where was this?
at
in my
Ryan's
house.
house.
in my bed because he had
Why,
nowhere
why
else
is
to
Noosh
sleep.
there?
Because
He was
went
too
out
drunk to
drinking.
go home.
Yeah.
So he was like staying
Noosh.
over.
It's
But
on
there was
I hope
no
I
other-
never
But
experienced.
it's all. It's
Dude, the thing is though, I was just there awake and just like I can't believe
Well,
this is
listen,
happening.
listen, man. Everybody was drunk,
Yeah.
and I really was like, she was trying to like do stuff, and I was like, he's awake.
Yeah.
But then I thought he's asleep now.
I wasn't.
And then because at one point you were like, oh, and you like rolled over,
Yeah.
you did like a thing.
I did clear my throat a lot.
And
just
I
to
was
be
like,
stop
oh,
it, you know?
yeah,
can't
he's
breathe.
awake. We got to stop. He's awake.
Yeah.
So
I
Damn
mean,
it,
I did.
Noosh.
thanks for cock blocking, you dick.
no, it's not cop block. Douche, you just screwed yourself. You could have just said you had a threesome.
I
Oh,
don't.
He wasn't involved.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
He was
Well,
next
but
to it.
Whoa,
telling the
whoa.
story, the
That-
people listening won't know.
I would never ever tell anybody I was in a devil's three-way.
Yeah,
if that
I
ever
mean,
happened,
That's definitely a threshold.
that is a never gonna happen there.
That's definitely a
well,
threshold that
I
we
mean,
should
the other threat. By the way, I'm gonna say this. Should I say this? Wait, remember that time you were swiping through or she was swiping through my phone?
Oh, where we saw your dick?
Oh my god.
Okay, so yeah,
He was trying to show us pictures of some girl that he was
Yeah.
talking to.
yeah,
And
and I
he
told
was
his
like-
girlfriend. I told this girl that
He was like, "Oh, don't swipe
yeah.
through my pictures," and
Yeah.
then of course she does.
Okay,
And it's just
was
Noosh
that
dong.
was that solicited, or you just offered that up to whoever you were going to send that to?
No, listen.
Oh,
Sometimes,
it was a solicited thing. You
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah.
There,
Okay.
Noosh is
Oh,
not. Listen,
no,
I will
no.
vouch for my friend.
Thank
He's
you,
not
man.
an
Do it.
unsolicited
No, I'm just curious.
dick pic guy.
I mean, I'll be
okay?
honest. I've only ever had one dick pic sent to me, and I was just like, "What the hell?" Like, it
was
was
like
not.
a
It was
random
not. It
unsolicited-
was not
Listen.
solicited. I mean, I was talking to the guy, and then just randomly, "Oh, that's nice."
And how did you feel about that?
I felt weird.
I don't think girls like that.
No,
Well,
they
unless
don't.
they
You're not a
ask for
gift.
it.
Yeah,
Not
well,
a gift.
that's
Right.
solicited.
Let me explain one thing. This is really important. This is for girls and guys. I'm gonna be very serious here, guys.
Okay.
It is
Wait,
very.
let me get the
I
serious
already
filter.
know. I already know.
Serious filter. It's black and
where
white.
you're going.
Go.
I hope. I don't know. Here's the thing, guys. It is really difficult for men and women to have a really good picture of their private areas of their body ready to go whenever a person you're talking to wants something sent to them, right? By the way, rule of thumb for guys generally, the rule of thumb is important. A girl sends you a picture of the upper area, you just compliment them.
Okay.
If they send 2 pictures, then you must respond if they're looking for that with a dick pic. However, if the girl immediately sends you a lower torso picture without anything upper torso going on, immediately respond with a dick pic. That's the
And the
Where did
dating,
you
the
get this
dating guide for
Nooshism?
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead will be on sale soon.
Yeah.
So, keep an eye
It's a
out for
book
that.
the serious thing I would say. Yeah, it's hard to get a good picture, so you just have to have it ready to go in your phone when it arises.
Have
Noosh,
the right
listen,
filters applied
Basically,
to it.
what Noosh
and
is
all of
saying is
that.
he was having a real good dick day, and he took a picture, and he's like, "I'm keeping this one,"
It is,
and he kept it, and it's probably still on your phone, I'm sure.
no, not my new phone. My new
It's
phone.
in your email.
my
You
new-
saved it
my new
somewhere.
phone
in
is-
the cloud.
My new phone is a saint. Don't talk about my new phone like that. It's a saint.
Oh, sorry.
He's got it saved somewhere.
On the cloud.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that happened. So Ryan and I have crossed thresholds. Okay, look, we need to start the show. It's been 15 minutes. I don't have time to tell
You
my...
son of a bitch.
Okay, I'm going to tell my story. Look,
I'll tell your story.
no,
if you don't.
I'll tell it after the bump, all right? We'll do it after the bump.
What the hell's the bump?
What's the
The
bump?
intro. I thought.
Where did that come from?
I
Who's
was
I was going to
just
say
making
bump.
up?
What, we're going to do like a
Sometimes
pre-show
shows-
fist bump?
Sometimes shows
Is this
call
drugs?
I use the wrong term. It's not a bump. A bump is like
It's doing coke.
no. A bump
what a
is
bump
like
is.
Prepare for a lot of snow.
you know that thing where right before like 2.5 Men starts, they'll be like next up is 2.5 Men, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
that's the bump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll do it after that. So once we
Up
start the
next,
show,
terminology.
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead.
this is the worst opening of anything I've ever experienced. We've talked about things that I never want to talk about. I'm
brought all of it up
shy to
yourself.
even post this on Facebook for people
Well,
to
it's
see.
live,
You
man.
All your fault.
That's true, man. You kind of
Listen,
brought
the one
this on
thing is
yourself.
that solution, that formula for dick pic sending, that's a
Oh.
legit thing. People should start
Well,
using that.
okay, we copyright it then.
Yeah, we should.
What?
So, guys, all I want.
Do you send a lot of them? So that's where you got like
He's
the
an expert.
Expert.
clearly.
So I said,
I don't send nearly
everyone
enough.
keep an eye out at your local bookstore. We'll have a book out soon.
The front of the book will be the picture.
the definitive guide of how to send dick pics.
Dick pic etiquette.
I am.
Perfect title.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hashtag.
I am.
Hashtag
I am
dick pic
never
etiquette.
opening another multimedia text from you ever again.
People just stop swiping on my phone. If I show you a picture, just look at it and hand me
That's
the
why
phone
you don't
back.
hand him the phone. You just, oh, hey, look at this picture.
Exactly.
You should never hand someone your phone because there's always something in there you're going to be very embarrassed about.
Well, I mean, if there's nothing to be embarrassed about, fine. But if you have a penis picture, one picture away from the picture you're showing someone,
Yeah.
put it in a separate folder or something, dude. Just
Uh,
organize your life.
By the way, when you sent the photo, did you put like a filter on it?
no, man. No, do you think I use filters, man? No.
No.
He's like,
filter.
hashtag I woke up like this.
I
hashtag
use,
no filter.
I use the right angles,
thinking.
though, because you got to use the right angles. And so, guys, welcome to Season 2 of Ryan and Noosh Are Dead.
Get ready.
You are in a really good mood, Courtney. It's like really infectious.
Because I think I told you, like, I'm tired, and I think when I get tired, I finally get like hyper. Because I don't get hyper off of anything, so I think it's just.
It's kind of the same as me, except at some point after I'm tired, I'll burn out and I'll just
Oh yeah,
fall
when
asleep.
I go home, I'm probably gonna crash.
Yeah.
I've been up since 6 this morning.
Hey, me too.
Oh, man.
Awful.
Yeah, not fun.
So, hey, everyone.
Way to bring it down.
I know, we had so much energy in the beginning of this talking about
And we're
penises,
done.
tasting semen.
And I think that's gonna be a
You know
really
what? I
funny
am a
intro.
little annoyed that you told my story. And you're like, oh, I don't have time to
Oh, no,
talk about
I'll-
the one time I got my finger, someone's
wait.
finger.
You gotta
Let me-
finish
in a
that
place.
sentence
I'm gonna
right there.
I'm gonna finish it, but first of all,
I wanted to put the teaser in there to make sure we actually tell
Yeah.
the story.
but
Where
first
was
of all,
your finger?
It wasn't his
Hashtag?
finger.
First of
Oh,
all,
Yeah.
first of all, I just want to say, welcome to another episode of Ryan Noosh Are Dead, episode 2,
Season
the
2.
last.
Season 2.
It's
Season
episode 2, the last Harambe.
What?
Well, because
tried.
these are episodes, Star Wars style. It's
Oh,
because
okay.
the guys, like today, it's
I got it.
Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
That wasn't today. That was, yes, a couple days ago when it came out, right? The title.
it's a
was
terrible
released.
title. I hate it.
The Last Jedi?
That's what the new
It's called
movie's
The
going to
Last
be
Jedi.
called.
Yeah. So, by the way, I'm Danushka, here to entertain and tell you a story in a second.
I'm Ryan, here To enforce the story being told.
The executor.
Yeah.
I'm Courtney, and I want to know whose finger was where.
I'm Ken, and they just picked me off from the street.
And we'll talk about Ken in 1 second. But okay, so the new game that every single time after we introduce ourselves, the new game is this, guys. It's a running gag that we're going to be doing. And basically, the way it works is we're going to take turns. Ryan, next week.
Are we taking a shot every time you say basically?
Not yet.
I would be dead.
We're already dead.
We'll come back to life. So many shots in. So next week is Ryan. The week after that's Courtney. The game is basically this. Anytime we have those of us here and we introduce ourselves, immediately afterwards we basically say this kind of a thing where if this was, for example, if this was Sex and the City, I would basically be this person, Shot. And Ryan would be this person, Courtney's this person, Ken, like that. We basically give an example of a thing and say, well, Shot. I'm basically this. Yeah.
Well, if we do Sex and the City, I call Carrie.
Well, you can choose your own for the
okay.
2 episodes from now. Okay?
Got it.
Ryan's next week.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to undercut you and choose, I'm going to do Sex and the City next week just so you can't. And I'm going to be Carrie.
Okay, so basically, guys, Shot. If this was Jurassic Park, Ken would be Muldoon. You'd be Robert Muldoon.
He's the guy who gets...
The game warden.
Oh, okay.
The guy, you're the game warden who, he says, like, what is that last thing he says?
Yeah,
he says, like, clever girl.
It's funny you said Muldoon, because that has something to do with my story, too.
Don't mention it, but good.
I was like, Muldoon. Oh.
So, Courtney, you are...
Ellie.
Dr. Ellie Sattler. You have to. You know why?
Because I'm the only girl.
Well, no, you could be the hacker. I guess
true.
the reason why is because Dr. Ellie Sattler is the informed, intelligent, like knowledgeable person on the group.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean Dr. Alan
Nice.
Grant is too busy competing with Malcolm, and Malcolm's too busy.
So wait, which one is Dr. Grant?
Which
one's
one's
Malcolm?
Okay, well, Ryan.
Can I say who I guess it would be?
Go ahead.
Dr. Grant would be Ryan, and you would be Malcolm.
That seems
Yeah,
right.
Why?
Dude, that feels right.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Cut you here, right across the belly.
I mean, you're no Jeff Goldblum, but you're the closest to Jeff Goldblum in this room.
You just look like you're a nervous guy all the time, like Jeff Goldblum.
Listen, we can't all look like Jeff Goldblum. By the way, Ryan,
is it just because he's brown?
Jeff Goldblum's pretty brown in that one.
That's true. He is pretty tan.
He's really brown in
But
that
he
movie.
always seems like he's a nervous guy.
Yeah.
And that seems like Noosh.
I'm not nervous. I'm just fast talking.
That's the same thing with Jeff Goldblum.
Well, by the way, here's the thing. By the way, I was coming into this whole thing. I'm going to finish up, but I wasn't going to go into this whole thing with a completely different example. But I realized the one I want to do, the one I will do when it's my turn again, is way too complicated for the first example of this thing.
Okay.
So I want to keep it simple. But Ryan, over the phone, I told you when I said, "Oh, I might do Jurassic Park." What did I tell you? You were? Did I say Dr. Alan Grant? Mm-hmm. Ryan is not Dr. Alan Grant, even though in my mind I kind of want him to be, and I think he is.
Is he John?
No.
Oh God.
Ryan.
That'd be terrible.
No, guys. Ryan is Dr. Ian Malcolm because he's the guy with his shirt off, getting women to pay attention to this show.
Okay.
He's talking about chaos and space and shit like that. That's Ryan.
I think you're confusing me with JB.
That's right.
The droplets never fall in the same way, or whatever his weird thing is.
The Soldana. Actually, I'm always talking about Soldana.
Yeah, that's you.
That's my thing. But he kind of co-opted that. So, by the way, I want you to know this.
What is this show about today?
We're going to get to that. But by the way, the characters that I selected for all of you guys...
to move it along.
The characters I selected for all of us, they all have a scene together. They're all a part of a really great moment. Muldoon, Sattler, and Dr. Malcolm. So the character I am Dr. I'm the T-Rex. I'm the T-Rex, actually. Because I am this force that's just trying to push you guys into doing this show, just driving us along.
You are definitely the loudest, also. You make the most noise.
He ate all the bad guys.
That's true.
We have
he kicked ass in, what's the new one? Jurassic World. Went after that.
Hey,
she kicked ass.
That's true.
You're also a girl.
I kicked ass in the first one, too, at the very, very end, where
true.
I saved everybody.
Yeah, when the raptors are getting at you.
But yeah, I mean, basically the entire scene.
Shot.
Nice.
That entire scene
I am
where you guys are
done.
driving away from the T-Rex, that's this show. That's just me come on guys, hurting.
And
me
we're just
going-
running
and me
away from
going,
you.
Faster.
Must go faster,
excuse-
must go faster.
Faster.
That's literally happening right now.
Faster.
So, Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, tell us something new about yourself or what you've been up to, because you've been on the show. I mean, literally the last show
episode that we
you
did
were on.
in the studio.
Yeah,
Yay.
Awesome, right? I don't even know what to say.
the highest rated show we've ever had.
Oh, that's
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Everybody loves Idols episode. Yeah,
really
yeah.
great.
From Instagram, we got a lot of
Snaps.
people liking, and they were like,
You sound so
Korean
old right
people
now.
and Japanese
From
people were
Instagram, we got a
liking.
lot of snaps.
Anyway, Ken.
Tell us a thing.
Yeah.
Dude, my mind is blank after that. All your stories, man.
Oh, after this,
Yeah.
I gotta tell my story.
You
before
do.
we-
Oh, my
I'm here to
goodness.
enforce that. Yeah.
Well, just Ken, just tell us what you did over winter break, and then since the last episode. Oh, wait, don't tell us. Maybe it's too sad.
How was your-
It's
wow.
semi-sad.
You didn't. He could have said
Oh,
something
yeah.
else. You
Yeah.
made
Well,
it weird
you
now.
like
No,
led him
he's-
into
yeah,
that.
dude.
He's sad.
Stop bulldozing.
Because
Stop
I did-
T-Rexing people into stories.
That's a good use of it.
I didn't invite him. He didn't get invited to the New Year's party that people threw.
the New Year party.
Yeah, let me talk about
Did a
that.
terrible job with.
Yeah,
Well, it's not my
you-
fault.
you-
It was a
you-
surprise.
You asked me at the last minute, and I didn't even know where it was.
Well, I asked at the last minute because I assumed Ryan and Courtney invited you. I asked them to, and they didn't.
Well, he invited me after I created my own party, and I
Yeah.
had to cancel my party to go.
You know
to
what
your party.
happened is because you were like,
Was
"Oh,
I
can
invited to your earlier party?
Huh?
Was I?
We all
I
were.
was, right?
Come
Yeah.
on. No, you weren't. Everyone else was.
so I went to a party where I didn't know anybody.
Well, to be fair, the thing was this. I told Courtney about the party, and you were like, "Oh, well, I had like Ken and Kenny and these other people who were gonna come to mine." And I was like, "Oh, well, they can come." So I just
Yeah.
assumed you guys were coming as like a.
I
Kenny
don't
was
know.
next to me.
Things got just and then
And that's what happens when
yeah.
Noosh isn't planning
Shut
things
up.
because I'm really,
You can't plan your own.
I'm really anal about things. I guess you can say.
We're gonna talk about how anal you are.
So
Heyo.
here's a story, right? Here's a story
Just
that
tell it
Ryan's
now,
been put.
yeah.
Yeah, basically there
Shut.
was one time where. Am I the only one who always says that? By the way,
Yes.
basically,
You say basically
A
all the
lot.
time.
All the time.
You're
God,
you're
say it a
super
lot.
basic.
Essentially.
there you go.
There was
different.
one
Thesaurus
time,
time.
where me and this girl were doing some stuff, and she was doing some stuff with.
He was getting a blowjob.
I was getting a blowjob.
Thank you.
That's the stuff. So, at some point, she suddenly took her finger and just right up there.
By the
Just-
way, the jupe motion was she put her finger in his ass.
yeah,
Just because it's a radio, they can't see.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I just want
So,
to make sure everyone got the idea.
she just did, and immediately when that happened, I was immediately really uncomfortable by it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was
kind
just
of enjoyed it.
No, well, no.
Here's why. No. You know what? I wouldn't give him shit for it. No pun intended. But if he enjoyed it and he was like, "Oh, I just discovered this thing about myself. That's kind of cool," I would have been like, "Hey, man, good for you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But
not
he
the
didn't. He
situation.
was like, "Oh, I don't like this." But
Yeah.
he didn't tell her to stop because he didn't want her to stop.
because I thought
So
if I
polite,
told her
even in those
if I
situations.
told her to stop doing this thing she started doing, I thought she might stop doing
Fingering you.
everything.
Everything?
And I was just like, I don't want to stop whatever's happening right now. I don't want to stop this train. I don't
He doesn't
want
want
to
to
stop
stop getting a blowjob, so I gotta just leave.
I mean, what else might stop if I stop this thing? I mean, it could be
Oh, man.
an entire chain reaction.
I like that's how your thought process is.
That is, I'm always planning and.
If I told her to stop
Overthinking.
this, she's
But
gonna stop
honestly,
giving me
wouldn't
that.
Wouldn't that be like most guys' reactions? Like, I don't want that to
No,
stop.
no,
so you would
no.
you would speak
No.
up. You would
Listen, if
speak
a
up.
girl did that to me, and I would be like, "What are you doing?" Like, no, thank you.
So you would keep one hand here and take the other one, pull it out.
I mean, I wouldn't force her head to.
No,
it's
but
getting
yeah.
weird.
It
But
is getting weird.
I would politely say, "No, thank you, ma'am," to the finger. I'm not.
If she's good at it and it feels good, I'll let it
No,
in
thank you back there, but
If
please
you
continue
like
down
it.
there.
Yeah, there
So
you
you
go.
can be polite.
there. If it feels good, I'll just let it keep going.
You know what it is? It's a matter of options, dude. It seriously is. Ryan has so many options that he can say no sometimes.
You really make it sound like I'm just like I have
man
girls
whore.
You
waiting
are
for
the-
me,
you
and
are
it's
the
not
sh-
even true.
the
It's
show-
just that you feel that you have so few options that
Yeah.
you're like, This will never happen to me
Again.
I
ever.
need to.
I cannot stop this. If I had options, I listen. If I had privilege, I would be like, yeah. You know what? I'm not really into that. Thanks. But keep doing the other thing. But,
this is a pretty sex-heavy show right
It
now.
is.
Dude,
Yeah.
so the topic of today, guys, is sex.
Yeah, obviously.
Dude, the funny thing is, we tell the audience, guys, the topic for today is collectibles.
I know this is going to be a totally different direction.
Well, mine will kind of tie
Hey.
into it.
It
Yeah.
always
Good
does.
job,
Somehow
Courtney.
with Courtney, it always.
It's always about pooping or sex.
It always comes. That's why she's been on this topic this
That
whole
makes me
time.
sound like I have a
She's
really
been
weird
thinking
life.
about it. or just a really you've been thinking about it a lot, like a reserved life.
You
Like you just
You're
got
really
it all
trying
in
to.
your head. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so the show is about collectibles.
So basically,
I'm not saying it.
Shot.
I was hoping he would.
No. So, okay, we're going to be talking about collectibles today, collections and collectibles. That is episode 1 of season 2, right? By the way, we should probably tell the audience that the reason we don't have our iTunes up yet, it's in the works. We have some things to sort out, and then by mid-February, we should have it.
Well, that's the promise we were given, but I mean,
Yeah, that's a promise we were given by somebody else, so we'll
Well,
see.
that goes back to your
Somebody's-
very first episode, Strings and Promises.
yeah,
Yeah.
still there, still strings, fewer promises.
We try to make fewer promises because we don't have enough strings to hold those promises together.
We're at maximum string capacity now.
This is string theory at this point. We have like an entire, department dedicated to that. So, okay, guys,
Start us off.
the collectible that I want to talk about is a 90s classic.
Oh
that-
my God, what is it?
What could it be?
I have no idea.
The problem
I'm
is,
so-
it was going to be a surprise, but then I dropped it out of my pocket outside, and
And Ken's
Ken
like, who's?
Ken,
this?
Ken actually shouted out loud, so like all the people
Everyone
outside in like.
Well, I wasn't here for this.
Yeah.
Can I take a guess of what 90s
Please.
collectible it could be?
Guess
She's gonna
away.
guess it right. Watch.
Well, I'm thinking either Beanie Baby, Pog.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow.
Those are my two
We're
guesses.
talking about Pogs.
Of course, that's the guess.
Those are the two guesses. Well, it could be also Pet Rocks and Trapper Keepers. 'Cause-
Trapper Keepers.
Yeah,
Trapper
That
Keepers.
brings
you
me
gotta
back.
have a Trapper Keeper. It's where what's
no
the
one had
tagline?
a pet rock though. I didn't.
Dude,
I
Pet
didn't
Rocks
have a pet
were.
rock.
I think like when we were in our age, like whatever age we were in the 90s, I think pet rocks were like not.
Dude,
for
Pet
us.
Rocks were 91, 92. I was like a little kid though. I mean, I was like, we're talking like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
7.
I wouldn't
6.
want one.
Well, okay, so guys, we're talking about the rise and fall of Pogs. So Pogs, just a brief overview really quick, right? So Pogs were popular in the 90s,
Yeah.
specifically from 92 to 95. What's really great about this particular group of us is, I mean, as opposed to like other guests we might have, is we were all 90s kids. We all grew up in that generation of like the classic 90s, trends that came and went. I mean, honestly, 90s trends are really equivalent to like memes now, because the thing is, I don't think you can have trends in the same way that they existed in the 90s, where they were so insular but they still spread by word of mouth so quickly. I think memes are the closest thing to that we really get nowadays, but anyway, so
Thanks, internet.
I mean, the internet changed the game. It changed everything. So okay, Pogs, they were popular from 92 to 95. That was the period.
I feel like Pogs were popular for so much longer, but that's probably accurate. They had a very short run.
Well, that was the peak. That's the period where they were popular. There was a decline period as well. That was a little bit longer, but that was the period people played the game. So here's the reason why they're so popular, right? They were cheap to produce. They were basically cardboard milk caps. That's literally what they are.
Yeah.
They're milk caps. The kind that go on glass bottles of milk that were delivered in the past, right? They were marketed almost entirely through word of mouth. Entirely, almost. By kids, no less. And they were essentially blank canvases to show off the things people cared about. That's the thing. It wasn't just like one thing or the other. I mean,
Yeah, I was like,
it could
check
be
out my
anything.
Rugrats Pogs, bro, or whatever weird.
Exactly. It could be
things.
anything. I mean,
Hidden
basically,
Temple.
it was so niche for the time period that by just looking at Pogs, you can get an idea of who was running for president, who's the best basketball player of the time, what the most popular movies and TV shows were, and also who the most notorious, murder case was at the time, right?
Was there an O.J. Simpson
there were
Pog?
O.J. Simpson
Wow.
Pogs.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Tight.
Yeah.
I never got those.
Radical.
Yeah.
Radical.
Extreme. So, other thing was this. It was easy to play. By the way, this needs to be pointed out before I go on, that the real kids play for keeps. Like,
Yeah,
you
of course.
don't play Pogs where, okay, well, let's just make sure we separate it, and, you play for keeps, right?
Yeah.
Because the idea is whatever you flip over, you keep that. So, I mean, that's how the real kids play Pogs.
What were the things called? Slammers?
Slammers?
Yeah, I had some sick
Dude,
slammers.
Dude, me too. Do you still have yours?
No, I lost them when I moved.
Dude, your dad, he makes me sad. He threw away everything that was great in your life.
Aww.
Yeah.
But I'm really great at making people feel shitty
Yeah, man.
today.
Yeah.
So, by the way, everyone had insanely overpriced Pog cases. Remember those tubular Pog cases,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I have pictures, by the way, that I can share. I took pictures of all my Pogs that I still have. I have everything. I have everything still.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course, man. It's me. But it was crazy though because those Pog cases were like $10 to $15. It was literally just a plastic tube,
Yeah.
but they overcharged like a mofo.
They had to get their money somewhere.
Everyone also had their best slammers, either plastic or rubber or metal, which also cost like $15 for like the good slammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the origins of Pogs, right? Chime in if this is familiar to any of you, but I feel like this might be stuff you might not know because there's actually an interesting origin story for this. Pogs were based. You know how far back we're going? We're going back to ancient Japan, to the Edo period.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. 1603 to 1867.
I was going to say the 1800s.
Yeah. Pogs were based off an ancient Japanese game from the Edo period, which is 1600s to 1800s, and the game was called Menko. Menko was invented by a Japanese fisherman, or so the legend goes. Menko pieces were about the size of milk caps. They came in squares and circles. They featured cultural icons of that time, like wrestlers, warriors, rulers, and it was played in the same way. People stacked them, and they used other Menko pieces to flip them.
Mm-hmm.
Early pieces were made of clay or wood or ceramics, but later
Those
pieces...
ceramic slammers. Those were the best ones.
Yeah, and they played for keeps. I mean, you want the ceramics so you can finish your kitchen. That's the idea. You're trying to get materials. Later on, though, in the 1800s, they actually did make cardboard. Once the technology was available, they made cardboard pieces. Japanese immigrants, this is now skip ahead a couple hundred years. Japanese immigrants to Hawaii in the 20th century, they brought their love of Menko to the islands. And there are actually some collectors who still have proto-Pog pieces. They're not technically Pogs, but they're the proto-Pog pieces, the milk caps, that people played with in the 1920s and the 1930s before Pogs were actually a thing. So that still exists out there. So now, talking about Hawaii, right? Some of the young kids in Hawaii, they started collecting milk caps that were used to seal milk bottles, right? In particular, I mean, you have to remember this. Their parents, they played the Menko game and stuff like that, but it's hard to get the pieces, right? They're not living in Japan. So the way they substituted it, the way they got the pieces they needed was through milk caps. The main source of milk caps was a juice drink, a juice bottle drink, produced by the Haleakala Dairy Company. This particular juice bottle...
Snapple. No. Sorry.
It was called the Passion Orange Guava drink. And the
Pog.
milk caps for this drink all had the...
They weren't milk caps then.
Well, they weren't, but they're called... Well, that's...
I know.
The actual
I'm
thing
just
is
giving
called
you
a
shit.
milk cap.
Just relax.
You know what? It wouldn't be Ryan and Noosh are dead unless Ryan's being a dick about everything.
Hey man, you made me feel all
shots
sad
fired.
about my childhood. I had to come back.
That's true. You know what? That was fair. That's fair. Let me shake your hand.
Oh, it's a
I'm
truce.
sorry.
That's
Through the air.
No,
I don't want to lean over.
All right. So
Well, that was almost lovely.
yeah.
Air 5.
So no, man. When you eat high five, it's a self five. So okay, it was a Passion Orange Guava drink, and the abbreviation on the milk cap was Pog. So the
Okay.
kids would refer to it as Pogs, like, "Oh, we need more Pogs," like because that's what
Yeah,
it said on the
that's
milk
what they
cap.
were.
Yeah, they played with these milk caps similarly to how Menkos played. They stack them up. They use other milk caps to flip them. Right? That was, and this is how the legend goes. Until one day, one particular kid accidentally dropped a rock on the milk cap stack. And that was the day Slammers were born. No joke, dude.
They were like these.
This is
This
way
is way
better.
better
Yeah. I mean, the joke that
than
somebody
using other
said
Pogs.
is, yes, the theory the actual philosophy, the theoretical idea of fun existed pre-rock. Like, it existed. Like, people played and they theoretically had fun, but the day that boy dropped the rock and the whole tower crashed, they were like, fun came into the world.
Wait, this happened in Hawaii and the rock was dropped. Is that where the rock... Was he the boy? No.
The rock was the boy.
That should be the legend. He was the original
That's
rock.
canon now.
The
for
rock
me.
that began.
He was the rock
it
that began
be?
slammers.
the first rock.
Oh.
Yeah.
The first slammer. And eventually he went on to slamming humans.
He started slamming humans. Yeah.
So, the milk caps, they had the Pog insignia on it, right? So by 1955, the Haleakala Dairy Company, they stopped producing the particular drink in glass bottles. They moved on to plastic, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the thing.
Ruining it for everyone.
They saw how popular the caps were. So they continued producing the caps, and they just...
Thanks, Pog.
distributed the caps, yeah. So they just basically ordered caps every week to be delivered to the island. They made them available through their plastic containers, even though they weren't necessary to actually seal the container anymore. That way the kid, I mean, literally, it was because that way the kids can continue playing. Yeah, it was for the kids. So this is where we need to talk about this woman. Skip ahead from 1955. People are still playing the game, but it's on the islands, right?
Using rocks now.
Using rocks and using, the Pog pieces. We need to talk about Blossom Galbiso, okay? Blossom Galbiso in 1991. We're skipping ahead now. This is the beginning, right? We skip ahead all these years. It's underground. It's just in Hawaii. It's above ground on the island.
The first rule of Pog Club is...
You don't talk about Pogs. The first rule of Pog Club is if it's your first night, you gotta play.
Second rule is we play for keeps.
Yeah. Dude. That would be the third rule, but yes.
That's true.
By the way, the fourth rule of Pod Club is we play for keeps. Okay, so Blossom Galbiso. In 1991, a 5th grade teacher at Waialua Elementary School, which is on the third largest island of Oahu. Her name was Blossom Galbiso. She taught that 5th grade class. She wanted to teach her kids a game that would help them with their math skills, right? And just a game that would be fun and non-aggressive, not like dodgeball and things like something that's just fun and easygoing, but also help them with math. So she is a Hawaiian person of Japanese ancestry. So she loved playing Pogs when she was a little kid growing up. So she thought, I'll teach the kids how to play Pogs. So she had them collect the Pog milk caps that the Haleakala Dairy Company still produced through that drink, and then they started playing in that elementary school. And then it started to spread to the other islands, other elementary schools. It became a phenomenon in Japan.
Hawaii.
I'm sorry, in Hawaii. Thank you for the correction. In Hawaii. By the way...
I was going to say that's... Wow, that jumped...
That really spread.
Quick.
It went back to the motherland. But, so, okay, here's one thing I want to mention, though. This was a game spread, and eventually it hit the North Shore, which is like a tourist destination, right? And that's when the tourists started picking up Pogs.
Fucking white people.
What is that? Cultural appropriation.
There you go.
No, I like that thing you guys are doing. That's ours now.
By the way, I want to say this about Blossom. This is really actually, I think this is amazing. She's still, to this day, known as the mother of Pogs.
Nice.
She's known as the mother of Pogs.
It's a cool title to have.
Yeah, dude. She sounds so ancient, the mother of Pogs. So, Stanpack Incorporated is a Canadian packaging company that's been producing... We're jumping somewhere else.
How did it get
right?
to Canada?
How does it get to Canada, right? Okay, so Stanpack Incorporated is a Canadian packaging company. For years, since the 1920s, they've been producing the milk caps for the Haleakala Dairy Company. That's their job. So even after the bottles stopped being glass bottles, they still got orders from the dairy company to produce the milk caps with Pog on it, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this company in 1992, they started receiving millions and millions of orders for Pogs, like just orders for millions of these things. And that's very unusual. They're like, dude, what is going on that people are suddenly ordering these things, and not just the dairy company, like other people are ordering Pogs. So that's when they started to realize, oh, snap, this is something starting. Jump to California. This thing moved from the tourists that went to Hawaii, spread to California. By the way, shout out to Cali being the place that basically popularized Pogs. Right.
Yeah.
Shots too. Because Hawaii was the originator and that's where it, sourced. But
that's where the history was.
That's where the history was, but it dropped. It dropped in Cali, basically. Shot.
Can I just say, probably at the top of every show now, we should have an advisory. The listeners of the show, please do not operate heavy machinery while listening to the show.
Don't play that game.
Yeah. And so the game hits California. Later it spreads to Texas, Oregon, Washington, and the rest of the U.S., and eventually the rest of the world. This is a worldwide phenomenon. I didn't know that part. I mean, I was like an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid. I didn't know it was a worldwide phenomenon. All I know is I want to play the game because everybody else is playing. So multiple companies, cartoon shows, fast food restaurants, hair metal bands, etc. Everybody started producing limited edition milk caps for the kids to collect and trade. Like, it became a way of advertising, basically. It just became something that you make. It was a big thing. I mean, just to give...
Your PR guy was like, all right, guys, so getting kind of big now. We got to get you some Pogs.
That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah, exactly. You know you made it when you got Pogs.
Can we make our own Pog?
Dude.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
Dude,
God, our logo
holy
on some Pogs?
Our faces.
I don't want our faces.
Our
They're
first brand of merchandise for the show.
Yeah, the logo. You don't want to get
Buy the
slammed.
Pogs.
By
By the way, some people actually use the Pogs as cards, like business cards, like Pog, the card. Yeah.
Hey, tell your dad to call me. I'll fix your AC. Here's a Pog.
Here's a Pog for you and a Pog for your dad. By the way, the examples. I mean, Pogs were available through Happy Meals for opening a bank account, through Blockbuster through Blockbuster Rentals. The Dare drug-free program had Pogs.
Of course they did. Trying to be cool.
They are so lame for trying to be
Dare.
cool. By the way, at one point, the Pope ordered 50,000 Pogs to give out to kids, the children of parishioners. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, by the way, eventually there was, you know how there's like those easy bake ovens and stuff like that that got really popular? Creepy crawlers, like that kind of thing, right?
Creepy crawlers.
Yeah, there was a milk cap maker that you can make your own Pogs, right? And by the way, actually, I'm pretty sure I knew somebody who had one of those because I was going through my Pogs in preparation for the show, and I found one of the ones that I made, and I was like, oh snap! I mean, it's horrible. I drew Yoshi. I drew 8-year-old kid.
You made your own drawing into a Pog.
Yeah, but I was like, whoa, snap! I have a Pog. I made a Pog. Anyway, this guy has a quote that I thought was really funny about the milk cap maker. Looking back on the machine, I realized the machine actually had razor blades in it, so it could cut the cardboard. That was a different time, the mid-'90s, when children were real children.
I will agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, children play the game for keeps, which was feared as a form of gambling. That was, I know you remember this. I remember the schools started freaking out.
Yeah, actually, I remember my
because they
elementary
were like,
school was
it's
like,
like
you
a
guys
gambling
can't play
thing.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's gambling.
So schools across the country started banning the game because it's a form
You
of
start
gambling.
doing like backroom Pogs.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
Take it underground.
Kids mentioned that like they started playing Pogs in secret in places, and like the older kids who were already smoking by that time, they were like, "Yeah, we smoked while we were playing Pogs."
Me just
like,
behind the handball courts at the end of the field.
Exactly. Under the bleachers.
So that was in 1993, by the way, that the bannings started to happen. That was like peak level. Like
Dude, schools are always taking the cool stuff and killing it.
Yeah. Well, that's what else did they ban?
Like yo-yos. Remember when yo-yos were a big
I remember
thing?
yo-yos were.
No, like kids are getting their eyes.
Dude, that's
pulled
so
out.
funny. By the
You'll
way, that
shoot
at one
your
point,
eye out.
everybody came to school with yo-yos. It's like, I can do this trick. Like everybody's doing tricks.
Rock the cradle.
Eiffel
Walk
the dog.
Rock the dog was the easy. Like,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so bannings. And now we need to talk about, and by the way, here's the thing. I thought I didn't know about this. I was surprised when I read about this. But the funny thing is, I found out Kid Noosh did know about this because he had a shitload of these too. The World Pog Federation. Yes. We gotta talk about the world. Dude, I was looking at my Pogs and I had official World Pog Federation Pogs. And I was like, I actually like had these. I had no idea because I thought when I read about it, I did not know about this.
Yeah.
So here's how you gotta hear it. This is weird. So Theodore Mills in Hawaii sees his son Bobby playing Pogs and forms an organization called I can't wait to show you a screenshot of this, by the way. he forms an organization called the Professional Organization of Pogs, or Poop. I mean, the funny thing is they could have
He did that on purpose.
they could have organized it as POP, Professional Organization of Pogs, just not included.
But he wanted to put that of.
He wanted to put Poop, so
Yeah.
it became Poop. He formed the organization. By the way, he formed the organization to connect with his family that was falling apart. Dude, he did
It's not
it.
something to laugh at, but
He did it to like bring his family together.
Poop is going to bring us together, guys. Save this family.
He never this is important. He never copyrighted the term Pog. He just started using it because it was a colloquial term. He didn't think about it. It was just Pogs. Everybody called it Pogs. An Orange County businessman named Alan Rapinski.
Of course, somebody from Orange
shout
County.
out to Callie. I'm like really shouting that out sometimes. He actually, just so you know who Alan Rapinski is, he's the guy who's the founder of Armor All for your car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's that guy. He actually contacted the Haleakala Dairy Company, and he bought the rights to use the term Pog. And as soon as he did that in 93, nobody else could use the term Pog in their advertising or their marketing or anything. The packaging, nothing. He is the owner of Pogs. Everybody else had to call it milk caps or whatever caps. There's actually lawsuits about this. People were fighting for the opportunity to call it Pogs because they were saying it's a colloquial term.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's how the kids know it.
But the courts ruled in favor of him. He won the right to call it Pogs. So, meanwhile, by the way, the whole time, the Haleakala Dairy Company, they sold the right to the term Pogs. And they just went on making dairy and juice. Like, this whole thing is going down in Cali and across the country and the world. And they're just like, we really love our, passion guava, passion orange guava, drink or whatever.
Yeah.
They're just all about that. So, he created, right, Alan Rapinski, this organization called the World Pog Federation. And he made deals with licensed brands like Warner Brothers, Shaquille O'Neal, Kraft Foods, McDonald's,
Of course, Shaq.
Coca-Cola. Well, I mean, he's got
That's when he started
yeah.
doing everything.
It started with Pogs,
Yeah.
and then it went to Gold Bond.
Yeah. You know what? I just yesterday saw him in a General Insurance commercial. I was like, man, you're really falling, Shaq.
Yeah, he's fallen.
He doesn't have that one thing like Jordan does. Jordan's just like, I do Hanes, and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he licensed all these companies to make Pogs, right? Here's the funny thing. Even though he did that, there's a lot of other companies who are just like, we'll make our own Pogs. It costs like $2 for like 100. It's cheap. So these other companies licensed World Pog Federation because they were the official Pogs. They had the term Pog. Everybody else was just caps, right? He created a mascot, by the way, and I can actually show you the mascot. He created a mascot called.
Do you have a Pog?
Yeah,
with
I do. He licensed a mascot called the Pog Man. Nobody knew what the Pog Man was. They thought, is it a Wookiee? Is it a Sasquatch? But this is the Pog Man. We'll put a picture up on.
Yeah.
Our,
Oh my God, I remember,
remember
this.
Is it
Yeah.
all flooding back?
Jesus. Oh yeah, WPF,
Yeah, World Pog Federation,
and then the logo. I remember that too.
Yeah, he licensed the actual Pog brand in 17 countries, including Japan, England, Canada, etc.
I guess I wasn't in the in crowd for Pogs.
That was like the lamest
It was
mascot.
Seriously,
it was
a terrible
No,
mascot.
here's the thing. That mascot of like the Captain Caveman looking
Yeah.
Neanderthal fuzzy guy is like the go-to cheap ass mascot. By the way, that particular Pog that I'm showing you, it's a Circle K Icy.
Yeah.
Do you know why I have it? And do you know why I have over 500 of them?
Icy?
Dude, no, it's because my dad
'cause of
worked
the
at
gas
Circle
station.
K.
Yeah.
And dude, think about this. I'm like a 7, 8-year-old kid playing Pog, and my dad's like, oh, my son plays this game. Let me take a box and bring it to you. Dude, my dad is that guy because when I was in high school one day, he came home and he brought this giant box of Mentos. And for literally, this is my freshman year, for like 3 years in my high school career, I became
The Mentos
noticed-
kid?
I was the Mentos guy. And people were like, "Hey man, you got some Mentos?" Yeah, dude, here. Like I had Mentos always on me. I was the fresh maker.
Nice. Nice.
So my dad, whenever he gets stuff off a box, he'll, from his work, he'll give it to me. So,
It looks like they ripped off this character from like BC. Remember the comic?
dude, it looks like Captain Caveman to me, dude, from Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
dude,
that's
yeah.
what I
Yeah.
couldn't place where I had kind of seen it.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know what it is. It's a fuzzball with feet.
So anyway, he's the Pog man. So here, the demise of Pogs, right? We the rise and fall. We talked about the rise. Give me my Pog back, yo.
I just throw it right there.
Oh,
Whoa.
it's a collector's item, man.
Oh my
You have 500.
I don't care. I need it.
Did you take like whenever you were going to play a game for keeps? Were you like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna stack my deck with
Yeah,
just
dude.
these ones? I don't
Well,
give a
here's the
shit
thing:
about
what kids did. Kids had their primary Pogs, the ones
No,
that
yeah,
are
of
like
course. You had the
Power
ones you're willing to
Rangers,
lose.
X-Men, the ones you keep, and then the ones you're willing to lose. And for me, I had 500 Circle K Pogs, so I was willing to lose these anytime, anywhere. Yeah,
I would hate you. I wouldn't play you. I'd be like, man, I know what you're
He's
doing.
playing with house money, pretty much.
dude,
Yeah.
dude. If we were playing Pogs together back in the day, you realize that's also your Pogs, right?
What do you mean?
We'd play together, man. We'd share.
No, I know.
It's your bank account.
No, I'm saying I know how it works. I'm saying you're not putting in the same risk as me though.
No, I'm not playing against you. We play together, and if you need Pogs to risk against somebody else,
Oh, you're saying you would be.
this is your bank account
You'd
too,
be the
brother.
bank
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
So we would both
yeah. We had
Rip people
500.
off.
Yeah, exactly.
with Pogman Circle
Yeah.
K
And
Pogs.
Little
no-
kid caught him.
And nobody knows because the Pogs go face down
Yeah,
until
yeah.
you flip them, right? So the demise of Pogs, right? We've been talking about Pogs for a long time.
Yeah.
By the way, it's
we're,
only
not, we're gonna cut short on.
no.
stuff.
It's only because we talked for 30 minutes about nothing. We
talked a lot about.
Yeah.
We learned a lot about you today,
I hate this
as we
episode
always
already.
do.
The downfall of Pogs. Additionally, the startup cost for Pog here's the thing, right? Startup cost for Pog manufacturing was so cheap. Everybody got in the game. It was cheap advertising. It was a popular thing. People did not even imagine the bubble would burst. Like, there was no bubble bursting in Pog manufacturing. Just, it's cheap, just get them out there, right? So the market became oversaturated by imitators and copycats, and also just official Pogs. The World Pog Federation, they started licensing everybody, and that's way too many. Think about Legos. Legos didn't license everybody at the same time. They did it little by little, step by step, every couple of years, brand new licensed product. They took their time. World Pog Federation, anybody who wants to make Pogs, they'll do it. So they oversaturated the market. And the other thing was this: some other companies started producing their own versions. For example, there was the Universal Slammers Incorporated company that produced slammer caps.
They were smart because they're
Yeah.
like, we can't say Pogs, but
Yeah.
we can do the Slammers.
Skybox International created Sky Caps, and Marvel Comics created Hero Caps. So everybody had caps. It was
Yeah.
cheap to get into. Most people, by the way, I thought there's a really good quote to how Pogs disappeared. Because the thing about Pogs was it was hype one day, and then it was just gone. And one person described it as, I remember one day we were playing Pogs, and the next day I brought them in, but no one was playing. The fad ended in a flash. It was as if there was a universal surge that passed through us all and told kids that Pogs were over. and dude, it's true. I remember playing Pogs, and then I remember not playing Pogs. But part of the reason, though, that Pogs did die out was other fads took over.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't
the
just
90s,
something else
You know that something
happen?
else is, dude. You know it. Do you know it? You mentioned it. What's the
I
other
have.
fad? Fad. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Mouth slipped. What's the other fad?
Beanie Babies? No.
Beanie Babies were...
Is this another
it
game
was
that you're
early
referencing?
90s.
I don't know. You said I mentioned it, but I don't
Let me
remember.
tell you how I discovered this fad, okay? The one that beat out
Pogs.
Pogs. One day we had cordless phone, but not a cell phone, cordless phone. The reception's not great. I walked outside just, so I can see my friends walking the parking lot of our apartments, and my dad called me, and he told me about this new thing that he was getting into, or he wanted me to get into, or something he was talking about. And he said, yeah, it's this thing, everybody's talking about it and doing it, but the thing is, you might live or die. And I freaked out. I was like 8 years old or 9 years old at the
Your
time.
dad said you might live or die.
I freaked out, and the thought that I had in my head was, oh my God, my dad is joining some kind of like blood sport tournament where he might live or die. Like, I was freaked out. My dad was going to die. But what he was really talking about was Tamagotchis.
Oh, okay.
Because he was saying if you don't take care of it, it might live or die.
I had a Tamagotchi.
The reception was bad. Tamagotchis.
Wait, but had I ever mentioned
You didn't.
Tamagotchis?
He made that up in his head.
No, I swear
I
you
didn't
mentioned it
mention
briefly.
anything. Tamagotchis never passed
Well,
forth through my
You
mouth.
did.
Not
You did
today.
today.
That was-
Yeah, you said Tamagotchis and Digimon today. The Digimon.
That was me.
I did
Oh,
not.
you did. Okay, somebody did.
Oh
I knew
my
somebody
God.
mentioned it.
Everyone is the same person in Nusha's head right now. He just
I hate
But
this
I
episode.
did have a Tamagotchi.
They still sell those.
Yeah.
They started reselling
Yeah.
them because they went up again or
Well,
something.
the fads come back. Oh,
Yeah.
Tamagotchis, and then Game Boy also took
Never
over.
had a
Heck
Game
yeah.
Boy.
And then after
out.
that, in a few years, very, very short years after Pogs died, which was officially in 95, basically in 96,
The Spice Girls came.
Pokemon cards
Oh, okay.
became the next thing. That was the trend. It went Tamagotchis, then the Game Boy, and then the Game Boy always
Game
lived
Boy
on.
never died.
But Game Boy became a big thing at that time,
Yeah.
and then the Pokemon cards. So, but by the way, I didn't know this. Pogs made a brief return in 2005, where Funrise Toys bought the name, and they went back to Waialua Elementary School to like guess what, kids? Pogs are coming back.
And the kids
well,
are
all the
like
kids
looking
are
on their
like
phones.
young,
Yeah,
and they're like, "What is this?"
And then that was in 2005. In 2006, they halted production of Pogs. Nobody was buying.
Yeah, nobody.
uh,
was
All right,
Great.
brief factoids to end with, right? Since 2001, Pogs live on, dude. Since 2001,
in our hearts.
yeah, the U.S.
Nusha's
military,
closet.
the U.S. military uses Pogs. Dude, I'm not joking. They do as a form of currency.
Trump is currently
Because
playing Pogs
here's the
against
thing.
foreign nationals.
The Army and Air Force Exchange Service basically
Slammers
like
are tremendous.
it's,
They're huge.
it's a he would. I have the best slammers. No one has slammers like
They're
that.
terrific.
They're terrific.
So
They're huge.
the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, they're like a commissary service basically for the different bases across the world. They supply deployed military with the kind of currencies like money that they can use to buy things, right? But the thing is, it's really expensive to ship nickels and dimes out there and actual currency because there's weight to them.
Yeah.
However, it's super cheap to ship cardboard caps that are, really cheap. So they started using Pogs as a form of currency, and they actually refer to them as Pog gift certificates. And to this day, the military around the world in different bases use these Pog caps as a form of currency to buy things. Now let's catch up on our friends that are part of this whole story, what happened to them. Theodore Mills, in 1996, the guy who did the poop organization.
Yeah, you mentioned him and never
Yeah.
brought him
Well,
up
that was
again.
all he did. 1996, Mills
He just created
petitioned
poop.
the International Olympic Committee to allow Pogs as a demonstration sport in the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. By the way,
Wow.
that was how big the bubble was for Pogs. People were like, this could be an Olympic sport.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh man.
His son Bobby took over poop and now runs it as a blogspot page. And by the way,
I'm glad it really did bring his family together,
yeah.
though.
By the way, I want to show you this, dude. The professional organization for the poop page,
The poop page.
the actual official website has a link that talks about the people who contributed to the organization, and it literally says, "Thanks for helping us make poop." I'm not joking. It actually says that.
That is awesome.
So Alan Rapinski, right? What happened to him? Sold his shares of the World Pog Federation to a Beverly Hills investment company. He shrunk his company back in 95 from 55 employees to 15 because they weren't making money. The bubble was bursting, right? Dude, he genuinely thought that Pogs would never die. And he thought this thing's going to blow up again in 97. It never did. I mean, they wanted to be an Olympic sport. This was so big that nobody could imagine it ending. What happened to our beloved, holy mother of Pogs, Blossom Galbiso? She was known at that time. Everybody knew her as the mother of Pogs. She was famous for that. People wrote news articles about it. That's how I found out about her. Unfortunately, Blossom passed away of an acute heart condition in December 27th of 1994. She died in the middle of the craze. And she died at the age of 45, dude. She was young.
Oh, yeah.
She was young,
Dang.
dude. And, dude, but in a weird way, it's sad. It is unbelievably sad that somebody
She
young...
went out on top, though.
Dude, she died at a time when Pogs were seen as the newest thing that's going to change the world. The bubble's never bursting. This is the future. And she died shortly before Pogs died. And what I love about that is just the idea that she died thinking she changed the world. And to me, she did. I mean, she changed our lives. We remember it, right?
Yeah.
But it's cool, dude. It's cool to think. It was like the guy who created the high five when we talked about it. Like, he went out knowing he created this great, amazing thing. And so did she. The Halakala Dairy Company, they were bought by a Texas-based dairy company called Meadow Gold, and they never earned a single cent for the Pog craze. And I want to leave you with this. This is the last thing I want to do before we move on to your stories. God, we are running late.
Yeah.
But listen, not my fault. I only did 30 minutes of this show because we went on for a long time about things we shouldn't have talked about. But I want to play you guys. I'm going to turn this over so you guys can see. I want you guys to see Pog commercials, dude, because, dude, this is really, really funny. So here are some Pog commercials at the time.
I think I remember seeing this, actually. Dude, what a weird subliminal message thing going on in
Yeah,
that.
seriously.
Dude, look at this guy go. By the way, it's showing Gamble. He's like grabbing all the pieces.
Yeah. Don't tell your parents.
Oh my god. I feel like, this is like a commercial in between like Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah.
One more commercial I want to show you. This one is going to bring you back some nostalgia.
Tiny Toons.
I remember this one.
And Fruit Stripe. Loved it for the first 10
It's
seconds.
big. It's mega big. And it's only at one place.
I remember this.
McDonald's. Power up to save the world. Now you can power up at
I was thinking
McDonald's.
Power
'Cause
Rangers.
Right now, when you buy something to eat, you can get a free Power Rangers Power Coin. 13 coins an
Power
hour.
Coin.
But you might want to hurry, because you're not the only one who wants Power Rangers.
Dude,
Wow.
what a combination. Power Rangers, McDonald's Happy Meals, and Pogs.
Pogs.
Power Coin.
Dude, I remember that commercial. Like, I totally remember that putty coming out of the corner, and like, we should post that on our Facebook.
Yeah, we
These
will.
are great. Okay, so anyway, guys, that is the rise and fall of Pogs. That's what I got there.
Thank you.
Interesting history.
You know the thing is, do you guys feel like you're out of practice for the flow of how much time we spend on things, and like, is it
No.
out of practice for you? No. Okay.
Do
Can't
you?
take it away.
Don't worry, mine's gonna be quick. It's
Take as much time as you need. We got
we have
It's
limited
okay.
amount of time.
Nah, it's all right. We don't have to get to everything, I guess. We're having fun.
Okay, so let's talk about records. Remember records, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
My first record was
Records
the
were the-
soundtrack of Annie.
They're the big Pogs, right?
Yeah, the
ones
big
that are made
pogs.
of vinyl.
All of Nusha's life is
Is a
different
pog.
sizes
Different
of
sizes of
pogs.
Pogs.
pods.
Records,
Yeah.
DVDs.
CDs, yeah. Hey, Ryan, we got to put
Laserdisc.
Pog into our video game systems, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put in the GTA Pog.
You know, what was the weird thing was like when we were growing up, when compact discs were actually around, like nobody even thought about records. It was like something your parents or your grandparents had.
Yeah.
So we think about records. We think about big records in the 60s and
Yeah.
70s of really big rock bands, and they're worth a lot of money at record stores, and people are selling them online. So we're thinking, it was like, okay, when did records really become a thing? Well,
As a collectible.
yeah,
That's
as a
the thing.
collectible.
Yeah.
Like the first common records that came out, they were called the shellac records, which was made with the shellac resin, which made it really easy to break.
Okay.
So back then, anything that was pre-50s records were like super fragile and prone to breakage. But during that time, also during the 50s, trying to find these kind of like rare things, these rare records, shellac records, was what people did. So if they could find some, maybe it started encouraging people to actually go to like small towns and search their attics, search their
Yeah.
Garage sales and stuff.
yeah, and see if they have anything in there, and like any blues of the 30s and 40s are made, and rockabilly that was really big at the time, and these records, there's still a niche market for it, but they're commonly referred to as the 78 with the 78 RPMs that goes by.
Those are the big ones, not the small ones that you're talking about.
Yeah, they were the big ones,
Okay.
but they only ran by 78. So everybody called them a 78. Whereas now people talk about, the 45s and then the 33s. The 33s are the now common ones, the LPs. But people, it just gave people that habit of trying to dumpster dive to see if they have anything, and maybe it was worth money. And because the archival ability of these kind of records were just not very good,
because they broke a lot.
Because they broke really easily, especially with two handling. People were thinking, oh, there has to be like an alternative to it for archiving these things. And I don't think it was really big until the 1960s, when the Beatles got really big around the world, especially in the U.S., that people started looking at records as like, oh, I got to have that record. Because now people are looking at it as like, the cover art is amazing for records. So the thing about it is, and even in like the UK, you might get different songs on the LP over there rather than over here. Some tracks are left out, and that's created like kind of like a industry for people to get records that they can't have in their country. So this also encouraged people to move to another way to make records, and they use a thing called polyvinyl, which we now call vinyl. So people call records vinyl, and that's pretty much what it came to. The only bad thing about vinyl is that it gets dust super easy and prone to scratching. So it's like, okay, if you still don't know how to handle it, it could still damage the record rather easily, but not as bad as shellac. Shellac just breaks. Yeah. So because of that, it was like, okay, we could keep this for maybe like 20 years, 30 years, who knows? And then by then, it felt like everybody had a turntable in their house if they had a TV.
We had one, yeah.
We had one. My cousin had one, which they had a TV right next to a turntable. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So everybody had like a record player. So you go to anybody's house at that time, like everybody just at least had like 10 records. It's like having a CD collection. So people just had it. But the records were kind of such a big thing for music lovers for such a long time. It kind of survived whatever came after. Yeah. It survived the 8-track. It survived the cassette tape. It wasn't until compact disc came out where this medium kind of just like...
Everyone was like, hey, this thing spins also. Forget those big ones. We got smaller ones
Yeah,
now.
And even we were talking about Laserdisc, which is pretty much like a giant record-sized CD.
Yeah.
So it was... And then...
So the Laserdisc was basically like the missing link between record and
It
CD?
seemed that way.
Laserdisc was like video, though.
It's video.
I know,
It's
but I'm
audio.
saying
Yeah, it
visually
was. Yeah,
speaking,
it was like the
Visually, it kind of
missing
looked like
link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, okay. By that point, records became a really niche kind of thing. People were still collecting it.
Hipsters.
Well,
This was before hipsters.
Well, this comes later because
they were the
they had
hipsters
no
before,
name.
Yeah.
They had no name yet at the time. They
yeah,
were the
because
unnamed hipsters.
because then after the late 80s and early 90s, we rarely hear about those musicians coming out with records because it was pretty much two mediums at that time. It was either cassette tape, which people had, or CD players, which other people are starting to adopt.
Yeah.
And records are really niche. So you move over maybe 10 years after that, probably into the 2000s, it started becoming a thing again. Well, I always thought...
Like artists started dropping records.
And I always credit one person as kind of like the nice figurehead for it, and that's Jack White.
Wait, from the White Stripes?
From the White Stripes, yeah. Well, Jack White, right before his big break, he was doing upholstery for furniture in Detroit. And he had a friend who was teaching him how to do it, and they also formed a band called the Upholsterers. And as kind of like a little joke, when he opened that kind of like upholstering company, he actually snuck a couple of the singles in some of the furniture, but he didn't say which ones. So
like
if
he
you
just put their like in the furniture,
Yeah.
so people
So
would
if-
take it home.
These
Like,
are records or
"What's this?"
CDs?
they were records.
Okay.
So if you thought about it, it's a really rare record hidden in
your couch.
in your couch.
Yeah.
And you would only know it's there if you ever reupholster your couch. So if you
That's
throw it
funny.
out, you'll never know. And he was on NPR telling them this. I was like, but Jack, like how are they supposed to know where they are? I was like, well, I just thought it was funny to mix my two passions together.
I'm really passionate about upholstery, and I'm really passionate about music.
But then he thought about it. It was like, okay, there's a good chance that all of these are going to be junked because
Yeah.
they're going to be a very good chance it's to like passed on to generations, and then they open it up. Oh, it's like, oh, what's this relic? Just throw it away.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know that many people upholster their couches. I mean, it's not a common thing.
It's not
Yeah,
a
they
common
pretty
thing
much just get a
anymore.
new
They just get a new
Yeah.
couch. But so I felt like Jack White was the guy that kind of brought that thing back, that record collecting mentality, or at least he gave it to the young people. Like brought it back to life.
So we
hipster.
we know who to blame now. Basically.
I remember when I was living in San Francisco, and I loved going to the Virgin store, you know, and they would have a section for records. And I mean, I remember at the time, and that was in the 2000s, I'm like, that's a little odd. Who really listens to records anymore?
But
So
now
I guess it would, but it maybe was starting at that time.
it's quite
like you said,
interesting
that
because smaller
people were collecting them.
smaller
again.
indie bands became like the main adopters of the records, like in the 2000s. Like if you're an indie band, you could press a couple and maybe like have some at a show, and then if you get big, maybe they'll become collector's items. But it became kind of like a nice hunting game for kind of like singles, which we call like 7 inches or 45s. And trying to find them and maybe swap them with someone. So there's like communities online where you could swap kind of rare singles with people.
Well, I can tell you my last record that I did purchase was only like a few years ago. My favorite artist, Darren Hayes, he was the former lead singer of Savage Garden. For his solo career, for his last album that he released a few years ago, he did do a special edition vinyl. And I got it, but I don't have nowhere to play it, but I have it.
I have a turntable.
Well, there you go. I might listen to it on your turntable.
There's turntables in here.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah,
there is.
all right.
Well,
all right.
well, Jack said something that was really kind of like a kind of a thing to describe records and his record label, Third Man Records, where he started back up, and he's based in Nashville, and now they have like a satellite department in his hometown of Detroit. And Third Man Records, they're kind of like a label that came out of his love for records. So pretty much, the tagline is "Your turntable's not dead," because Third Man Records on a regular basis has pushed out like releases of records. They have like collaborations. They have their own store space now in Nashville, and Jack White for every 3 months offers like a package that you could get like a pack of records sent to your house, like a subscription service, which he
nice.
started probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And you could get it to you, and they send it to your door. And he wrote that if you don't like it, just sell it on eBay and wait for next month. So he already knows just how big records are to like certain collectors. So
Yeah.
this is like a collector's club for records, for records. His most awesome record, if you guys trying to look it up, is a couple years back. He made a record where he pressed it, and there was water inside of it, so it was clear plastic. And when it went on the turntable, it kind of sloshed around.
That's crazy.
And if you searched it, it's like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But Jack White is always kind of like a person that would
Puts
hey,
weird
puts
things
weird
and other
things on
weird
record.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
his
all you
thing.
need to do is just have that, and then like add some goldfish or something into it.
Yeah, so we think about it as a hipster thing. I think about it as it is
water
kind
inside of a record's
Yeah.
pretty hipster. I mean, I'm not saying it's not cool.
No.
It's cool.
I'm saying like
It's cool, but
honestly, if they start selling at Urban Outfitters, it's become a hipster thing.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Don't
what if-
they?
guys,
Don't they
guys,
sell it at Urban Outfitters?
What
they
if-
sell
do.
records at Urban Outfitters. Yeah.
What if this was, because it's proto hipster? There was no name for hipster at that time. What if this was when hipster was like cool, and then it became played out and became
No, they're just awkward kind of nerds. The people that like records, like me, we're kind of they say it's like, oh, why do you like that? It was like, I like the nice visceral kind of like analog.
Man, your hands are twitching as you say.
Sounds
You're like,
different.
you're like, oh no, man, this is like, I gotta feel some vinyl on my fingers.
No, it's fun to play with records. If you ever play with records, then you can.
Hey, as long as you do it in the privacy of your own home, man, you can play with records all you want.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Not after that.
Dang.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Noosh is coming in hard, and he's coming in hard. He's shutting you guys
Nope.
down,
Nope.
being savage to all of you.
Coming in here,
And it
T-Rex and everybody.
We
Yeah,
didn't-
I'm
didn't-
T-Rexing hard.
We didn't T-Rex you down before.
He T-Rexed himself, though.
But you know, the thing is, though, guys, at the end of the day, even though I'm chasing you down right now and being, T-Rex to you, at the end, when you guys are running away from something worse, I'll come in and save the day. So at the very end of the show, I'll save the day. Courtney?
Okay. So what I am going to talk about is the Icelandic Phallological Museum.
So this is...
I've been waiting for this.
She told me that when her mother heard about her topic, her mother rolled her eyes, and now I know
You
why.
ran to your mom, giggling about it, and she was just like,
No,
oh
I called her to my room.
Hey, Mom, look at this.
I said, hey, Mom, do you know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow?
Wow.
Okay.
How do you find these things? Go
I
on.
know. What was your initial search for?
Well, actually, I remember in a message you said what you start with every time when you start to search for something. What was it?
Heist. I put heist.
Heist
I
something.
wrote collectibles.
So
heist,
my term that I always start with when I'm looking for topics is weird, blah blah blah, whatever it is.
I thought she was going to be like, I always do something dick.
Dude, that's what I was
dicks.
thinking. I feel like she's got a theme here.
No,
it's usually
I always just start with weird, and then whatever the topic is, and then I go from there. But anyway.
And it always goes to dicks and other.
I
dicks and
can't control.
sex and
I can't
stuff.
control
Boobs.
Google.
Yeah,
I can't control it.
you can control your fingers though, where you click.
Well, it usually starts on a list, and then you go through the list.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. Okay.
I want to hear about the penises.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because this is located in Iceland, I can't pronounce all the names of the people and where the places are because it's weird
That's
names.
fine.
So I'll try
Fair
to
enough.
say it. But so it's located in.
Wait. What do we guess this phallic museum is? What is it called?
The Icelandic Phallological Museum.
So this is dicks on ice, right? Basically that's what we're agreeing on here.
I feel like
No,
it's
there's
going to be
no
a lot of
ice.
artwork and a lot of it's going to be a lot of things that people made to honor the penis.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It was dick pics before dick pics.
Okay, so
So before
Dick paintings. They take a lot more time.
when they woke up and they were having a real good dick day, he's like, let me paint this.
paint this.
stay right there. I need to,
You
I
better
need to capture
stay.
this moment. Okay, so if you're in Iceland, you can go to Reykjavik. I'm not even going to try it. Starts with an R. I'll post it later if people want to know where to go. It is the world's largest display of penises and penile parts.
Like human
parts?
Well, I'll get to that.
penises.
I'm going to go through the collection a little bit, and I'll get to that.
I'm almost right.
I'll
Let's
get
go
to
on.
that. It was founded in '97 by a dude.
His name's Bjorn Jensen, right? Something like that.
Yeah. Well, his initials are SH, so we can just call him Shh if you want. I don't
Okay.
know. So, anyways, he
I'm
was.
just going to call him the original dick guy.
There you go.
Solvang Hensen.
So he was a retired teacher, and so his first he started
broke
collecting.
And he broke bad in
Breaking
the
Bad.
worst way. He's just like,
He's like, I know a lot about dicks.
yeah. No,
Like,
dude,
set
no,
up a
dude,
museum.
dude. He knew he knew a lot about museums, and he found a guy who knew a lot about
He had a
dicks.
student who knew a
He
lot
had a
about dicks.
student who knew a lot about
And instead of
dicks.
saying bitch all the time,
And they
he
went
would
on,
say dick.
dude. By the way, they went on like a friggin' snowmobile to the middle
Hollywood.
of Iceland.
Get on this.
Hollywood has been on it. I will get to that as well.
Hey. All right.
So the
Hollywood's
museum.
been on that.
The museum started
on.
because he did have an interest in penises before he actually started the museum. It started when a friend gave him a cattle whip when he was a kid that was made from a bull's penis.
And he was like, this is a sweet penis whip. I'm really into dicks now.
There's so much going on. So you give a cattle whip as a gift. It's made out of a bull's dick. What are you expecting? Are you
Wait,
expecting...
when you say cattle whip, are you whipping cattle with
That's
a
what I was
bull's dick?
assuming. Dude, here's the worst part.
That's so cruel.
No, guys, there's literally no way this is good. Because look at this. If you gave it as just like a nice gift, you're like, dude, why are you giving me a cattle whip? Why are you giving me a bull's dick? But if you give it to
Why
somebody
wouldn't you?
in the expectation of them using it, dude, you're whipping a bull with another bull's dick.
God bless you, Courtney, for finding these things. Go on.
Okay. Well, so that's where it kind of started. So since he was a kid, somebody gave him to this, and so then I guess that just piqued his interest. One quote that I love from this guy is, this is a quote from him. He wrote, 37, he's commenting about the museum. He's just like, this came out of 37 years of collecting penises. Quote, somebody had to do it. I mean, why not? So, okay.
Why do you collect penises?
I mean, no,
Somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it.
Dude,
So,
if ever you had a calling, it's when I don't see anybody else whipping it out.
well,
whipping it out.
So he created this museum. His goal for the museum is to collect penises from every species within Iceland. That's his goal. So, this has become a very popular tourist attraction, which I thought this was interesting. Most of the people that are going there, I think it's at wherever it was, that 60%, here we go, 60% of the museum's visitors are women.
I mean,
That's believable.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
yes. I don't know.
I don't know why it kind of
Listen,
surprised me,
listen.
but maybe from your actions, I guess it should.
The Iceland Dick Museum is not one of my hotspot destinations that I'm looking to go to, but I can understand why people would go, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, what is in the collection? What could you possibly?
By the way,
see
I
if
know
you
a guy
Is
go?
there a cafeteria?
Ryan, by the way, I know a guy who wants to go there probably.
Video game guy?
Video game guy.
Oh.
Okay. So, the collection ranges from some of the largest to some of the smallest penises in the animal world. Its largest exhibit is only a portion. So I'm going to give you the figures of it, but this is just a portion of it, so it makes you kind of
It's
wonder.
not even the whole dick.
It's
just the tip.
a blue whale's penis.
Oh.
It is 67 inches long and weighs 150 pounds,
Sweet Jesus.
which the Iceland Review dubbed a real Moby Dick.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Iceland, you guys have a lot of
Keeping
fun
it
over
classy,
there.
Iceland. By the way, though,
And it's not
Actually,
the whole thing.
and what you were joking about, it is just the tip.
Oh my!
God, I love this
If they had
country.
if they had the full thing, it would have been 16 feet long and weighed about 770 to 990 pounds.
wow.
Okay, so they
Big
do
dick
only
swinging.
Wow.
they have just the tip. Okay,
I'm glad they went for the tip because
so
they're like immune.
that's the largest item that they have in the collection.
Yeah.
The smallest item that they have in the collection is from a hamster, and
Aw.
it's called
Hey,
it's,
man, it gets the job done with other
Yeah,
hamsters.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I thought, okay, so it's the baculum of a hamster. And I had to look up what is baculum, and so baculum is the penis bone.
Is
and
that
it's-
like how Pluto's a celestial dwarf and not a planet because it's too small?
Doesn't have his own orbit.
They're like, we can't call that a dick, right? Sorry, go on.
okay.
Dude,
Micro dick.
oh god, it's so small.
Well,
you
no,
can't
keep
call
that
it-
in mind. 'Cause hold on a second. So let me just explain what the baculum is. So it's found in many different placental mammals, but it's not found in the human penis. It's
a crime against
yeah,
humanity.
it aids in sexual reproduction by maintaining sufficient stiffness during sexual penetration.
Hmm.
So, but it's so small, you need a magnifying glass to see it. Okay.
Gets the job
so, yeah. So that's
Yeah.
so they have that. Some of the other interesting things that they have a folklore section with
Dicks of legend.
mythological penises, which includes elves, trolls. I don't know what
They
kelp.
have troll dick?
They have troll dicks. I don't know what kelpies
What?
are. And then they also have the quote, the nasty ghost of Snæfell. Don't know what that is. What's interesting though is that in Icelandic myths, elves are invisible, so they have an elf dick, but it is invisible. You cannot see it.
So it's
you
just
can
an
only
empty case.
Wow,
you can
it
only
remains
imagine.
invisible after it's
It's
deceased.
just an empty case.
Oh,
of
elves and
troll
trolls.
dick.
So they do have both, but they're invisible.
Trolls? Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
So
Of course they're invisible.
the other ones that they have is a merman, and then these last two are kind of funny. So they have a one-legged, one-armed, and one-eyed monster called a beach murmurer, and so they have the penis of that. And then they also have the
Does he also have one ball?
maybe, I don't know. And then they also have the enriching beach mouse. So what that is apparently it's said to have it draws money to enrich owner. So this beach mouse They
Oh.
have the
Collects
penis
money.
of, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they also have the penis of Icelandic Christmas lad.
Does it have the Iceland?
Icelandic Christmas lad.
Yes,
He
was,
sounds a little young to have his dick on display.
well. Yeah, I don't know. So,
By the way, I was
so
gonna say, at this point, you should say like, oh well, they also the Icelandic hockey team of 1986.
no, they do.
What?
Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna get to that,
No.
dude. You keep jumping.
Dude, because I'm
really
saying
excited about this.
No, listen, I say the craziest thing I can imagine.
Well, hold
and,
on, okay.
like,
Okay.
Use less
You gotta-
penises.
We don't
Okay.
care about the mouse. Let's go.
So that's some of the stuff. Now, other things around the museum that they have, what they call phallobilia.
I call it
They
that.
have They have lampshades made from the scrotums of bulls. Who wouldn't want that in their house? And
Quality
then,
leather. Soft.
It is leather.
and then they also have so that's what that is. And then so let's get to the hockey team. Hold on. a
Look,
second.
don't skip anything that's really, really good though.
No, I mean that's pretty. I mean,
Okay.
it just goes on to just say some of the other stuff that they've had, and that how they got their collection is most of it's been
Yeah.
donated by people.
They got Voldemort's dick somewhere in there along with
what
the
I
elves.
thought was funny was that also he got his family to help collect it for him, and so there's one quote from his daughter where she
Wow.
said that she went to go to a slaughterhouse to collect a specimen from a goat. And these guys were like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here? Like, what's in your basket?" And she said she had to say, "I'm collecting a frozen goat penis," and that's how I imagine her saying it too.
I'm excited to say
And
it.
then she said, she's like, "I'm never gonna collect for you again, Dad. Like, I can't go collect any more goat penises."
Get your own dicks, Dad.
I would be embarrassed as a father to ask.
So
a daughter
yeah,
that.
exactly. Where is? Hold on, let me find where.
So they don't have actual
Dude, by the way-
human
by
penis.
the
No,
way-
wait, I'm
right?
gonna get
They
to
have-
that. I'm
Wait,
gonna get to that.
I want to
Hold
make
on.
one quick joke with the hockey team thing, even though I haven't heard anything. I'm assuming this is the freaking the Iceland hockey team from D2, the Mighty Ducks. After they lost, that's what happened.
I
to
do,
them.
Shame
I do
penis.
have to make a correction. It's not the hockey team. It's their handball team. that
Even
they-
better.
So there's a whole section on human penises. Okay,
Okay.
so it is his goal to have a human penis in there. There have been 4 pledges from men that said that once they die, they will donate their penis.
Dude, also, how narcissistic are you to be like, I got such a nice dick. This shit belongs in a museum. When I die, you put this on
Stop
display.
jumping ahead. I'm going
Sorry.
to get to all that. Okay, so there's 4 pledges from 4 men: an Icelander, a German, an American, and a Briton that have
Yeah.
pledged to donate.
Yeah,
So
I'm not surprised.
I was a little. I don't know how to interpret this. Okay, so what they have is they have 15 penises based on the Iceland national handball team. Okay, the handball team won the silver medal at the Beijing Olympic Games in 2008, and so the penises are made from a silvered material. Great way to tie that in.
Yeah.
We got silver medals. We got silver dicks.
Dude, by the way, though, I mean, those people who win those kinds of Olympics things, they go on tours, they go on parades, they get medals and trophies from other people, just like awards.
Yeah.
And some guy's like, I want to make a cast iron silver dick out of all you guys.
Well, there's a picture next to the casts, and the guy who owns the museum, he says that they're not displayed in the same order as you see them in the pictures, but their wives will be able to tell who belongs to who. I'm like, okay. What I don't know how to interpret this part. It says that, according to Slate, the sculptures were created by his daughter and were based on her own experience rather than any knowledge of the team. What do you think that means?
She slept with the whole team.
That's
She's
what I jumped to.
It's like, I'm not
But-
collecting for you anymore, Dad.
I'll just do it in other ways.
I got memories.
I'm gonna
though.
collect.
So, okay.
You know what? I was thinking they had like a real
Wait,
professional
based on-
team of like molders and
Yeah.
sculptors,
It-
and
it-
they just
best.
like
It's her. So,
Wait, so based on her own experiences and not what?
okay. So I'll read the
Yeah.
sentence exactly. It says they were based on her own experience rather than any knowledge of the team. The next sentence is the team's goalkeeper denies that the sculptures are casts.
So how would their wives know though?
Oh,
didn't
you know what
know.
it is? Maybe she got a picture of it and she just...
So she's like, each of you send me a dick pic,
Yeah.
and I'll
Yeah.
try to pull it out of silver.
Just
she
text me a dick
solicited
pic and I'll
dick
just.
pics.
That's-
And they all made sure they had a really good day, got the right angles,
Yeah.
went through their
Proper
phone,
etiquette.
looking for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They consulted
I-
us actually.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah.
For the rules.
Okay. So let me talk about some of the people that are the willing donors to go into this museum. Oh, so wait, I was going to go back to, so there is a documentary based on this. It was a Canadian documentary based on this this museum, and it is called The Final Member. So look that
Not
up.
punny enough. I mean,
They did a lot better stuff in the museum.
Yeah. Okay, so one person, his name, of course, it has to be an American. His name is Tom Mitchell, and there's a comment. You know, he's an ordinary guy, but his one quirk is that he thinks of his penis as a separate entity from his body. Any guesses on the name of his penis?
Galactus.
Any guesses? Noosh?
Destroyer of Worlds.
Little Mitch.
No, it's its own entity, though, right?
Oh,
So
it's its own entity?
Own entity. What would be the name
Troy Wilkerson.
of Steve Mitchell or Tom Mitchell's penis?
Steve Mitchell.
No. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Elmo.
Oh, gross. Mine's just called
Okay.
Big Bird.
So his dream is to have the most famous penis in the world. He said that his dream would actually, or what he would like it to be, is to even cut off during his lifetime, so then he can go visit it in the museum.
He can go say what's up to Elmo.
Exactly. And then he's already
Deuce looks really disturbed.
what he's done
I don't
in the
know, man.
meantime
This guy.
is that he has made a cast of it and sent it over to the museum just to take his place. He's, along with photographs of it, dressed up as Santa Claus and Abraham Lincoln, because why not? And then to make it look more appealing, he's had his penis tattooed with the stars and stripes.
Fucking
So-
America, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
wait a minute. He's also created a comic book based off of it, and it is called Elmo: Adventures of a Superhero Penis. Come
I
on.
don't like Don
Where
Mitchell.
does he live?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get that.
He does not represent America.
Okay,
This
so
is Trump's America.
Dude, by the way, if
man.
thousands of years from now, when all that's left is the Iceland Dick Museum, I don't want people to think Stars and Stripes Dick
Listen.
is...
We got to take Elmo out before
Yeah.
the world ends. Like we
yeah.
can't. That actually really bothered me. I don't like this person.
Wait, tell us more about the German and the other people.
Okay, well, I don't have too much on that, but I have one more. So they did
I feel like the
finally
German
get...
was probably just like, well, somebody has to have like record of, you know, just they need a healthy penis for this museum. Oh,
Yeah.
He was very surgical about it. Doesn't mean anything to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Not looking for fame.
Just take it.
The British guy, he didn't take like a picture that was really, really on a good day. He just took a picture on a really whatever day.
He just got out of the
doesn't
gym.
care.
He's all sweaty.
He doesn't care. He's just like, all right, here's my dick. What was the other person?
So this became the first human penis that was donated to the museum. It came in 2011. This was from an Icelandic donor. So the owner was happy because his goal is to get something from everything from Iceland.
Yeah.
This donor was 95 years old. And he was known as a womanizer in his youth. And the owner of the museum actually wanted to make a point that even up until he died in his 90s, he was still very active. So
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah.
there you go.
It was like this was used right until it came to the museum.
So the donor, his only concern was that since he's getting older, his penis is shrinking, and he's worried that it might not make a proper exhibit. So that was a concern. But so when he died, what they want is, which I didn't know this, there's a term for it. Of course there is. But so there was a penectomy. So that's, I guess, the removing of the penis. But it didn't go quite successfully.
Good name. It's a good name.
And
well, I mean, he's dead already.
he's dead already. And so what was left was a grayish-brown shriveled mass, unfortunately. And so what the owner of the museum said, quote, "I should have stretched it and sewn it at the back to keep it in a more or less normal position. Instead, it went directly into the formaldehyde to keep it, looking as much as it could. But it already, since the penectomy didn't go good, it kind of already lost its...
Got weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of the people that have seen it, they're just like,
Unimpressed.
Yeah, one quote was, it's very old, a bit shrunken.
Yeah.
And then another person said, I hope mine will not look like this when I get old. So there's that.
All the women are like, why is it so small? Was he not that big? Basically this entire museum is a bunch of women making fun of a poor old guy's small dick now.
It's getting real
Okay, well, I'll end with
personal.
I'll end
Not
with
for
this.
me.
Just kidding.
I'll end with this. There's another person, another American that has agreed to donate whenever he goes.
Announcement, guys. It's me. I'm just kidding. It's not.
Have you guys heard of this guy named Jonah Falcon? Apparently he's a writer and an actor.
No, but sweet name, dude.
Jonah Falcon. So he is known for a really big penis. So flaccid, about 9 inches. Erect, 13 inches. My notes here, ouch. That's all.
Did you really write ouch?
It'll be outs for her, most of us.
So he agreed.
I'm glad his last name's Falcon.
Well,
He's got.
Is he a porn star?
I don't know. I don't know where he might have been
With
an
a name
actor.
like Falcon?
I don't know. So he agreed to donate, and then and this was his suggestion that it would be displayed along a sperm whale, and then it would be called Jonah and the Whale. So I thought that was
What's up with these weird Americans?
These
man?
guys are like, marvel at my big penis.
Seriously.
pretty much. I just I had to look him up, and in looking it up, there was a video of
I
him.
had to look him up.
I had
Courtney,
to. I didn't know
research.
who it was.
Okay.
I didn't know who
That's
he
why
was.
she's all good
Yeah.
today.
That's how she knows the dimensions. That's why she's all-
She lit a scented candle and then she
Really?
looked him up.
Really?
That's why she said ouch.
We're going there.
That's why her mom rolled her eyes when she walked into the room.
Courtney!
Oh, Courtney.
She wouldn't roll her eyes as so much as avert them. Like, Jesus.
Courtney, close the door.
Never mind.
And on that bombshell.
What do you got really quick, Ryan?
Oh, no, we're not. We're good.
Is it really not that?
No, I was really just going to talk about like weird things that people collect, not penises. Just people are getting a lot of money now for like VHS tapes of really shitty movies specifically.
Yeah, I've heard about
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like really bad sci-fi movies, right? Like B movies.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one number that I thought was pretty impressive. Where is it? Yeah, so Tales of the Quad Dead Zone, a 1987 horror movie released direct to VHS by the director. Experts think that it sells for more than $2,000 because
Jeez.
it's so rare and so awful. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I know
but we're like-
the old Disney VHSs are selling for a lot of money now.
Yeah.
Like turned into collectors.
They don't
Yeah.
produce them anymore.
No.
News. Of course they don't produce them anymore.
Listen, I don't buy movies at all. So I just watch Netflix. I watch
Also,
on TV.
you know how like action figures come in like there's like the
Yeah.
cardboard back with the little.
Yeah.
People are also selling just the cardboard, like the open package.
Yeah.
There's nothing in it. It's just trash. Someone bought a Halbert Yoda toy recently for over $1,000, and it's not the toy.
Yeah.
It's just the cardboard.
So these are
back of
people
the-
with just money to just like throw. I mean,
Somebody
like-
really wants that.
Dude, I mean, you know what?
Cardboard
Actually,
Yoda
this is something that I
box.
wanted to mention about collectibles that I did not mention at all through the entire episode. It's a joke about the nature of how people are able to spend money on collectibles like this, right? The joke is this: if a guy, this is a joke about guys. If a guy goes for a significant length of time without a girlfriend, he'll end up with cool shit. That's like a rule that exists. Like you just kind of end up with cool shit eventually. You don't even try; you just do.
That is so not true. I've had a girlfriend
Ken,
for...
that's true. You had a girlfriend for years, and you still have cool shit.
Yeah,
That's true.
You can't... But it's a thing. If girl... As a guy, we all have kind of weird things that we have that we collect maybe.
Yeah.
Everybody collects something.
Dude,
Like
actually,
those
like,
awesome-
I mostly collect mistakes and regrets.
yeah. I collect, aside from the Pogs I no longer collect, for a while, there's this series, a comic series, maybe you know it, it's called Lock and Key. Lock and Key, it's a
Still
story.
don't have mine.
You still have, yeah. Yeah, I gave you one, that's right. Lock and Key, it's about keys. There's magical
Okay.
keys, but this company started making die-cast, officially licensed replicas of each key, life size and everything. I started collecting them. I mean,
Nice.
I think there's like 35, and I have like 25 of them, so I stopped collecting after a while, but I have that. I've got, I think the two coolest things I own, though, like, this is the two coolest things I own. I have totally, like, I think one other person has this, and then me. I have a Rocketeer helmet, like a custom-made
Nice.
Rocketeer helmet, and I am the only one who has this. I have a straight-up Magneto helmet with, like, a cool everything.
Nice.
That's my cool shit.
Actually, we should go around and see what we all collect, huh? What do you collect?
I
Right,
don't have anything currently that, I mean, I can tell you the two things I remember I collected as a kid that popped in my mind. Like, the only comic books I collected were the Barbie comic books. I would always get it whenever I would go with my brother down to the comic book store. And this is really weird, but I think I'm just going to chalk it up to being a kid. But, you know, because I would play outside a lot. I was really a tomboy, so I'd always get hurt, and then, of course, you get scabs. I would collect my scabs.
Ooh, wow,
How to
yeah,
intertwine
Courtney,
it.
that was
Listen,
really weird.
No,
It's weird. I'll admit
it's
it.
weird, but it's not. I've seen worse. I've heard worse while researching this. I mean,
I collect teeth. I'm just kidding. I don't.
Ryan, I feel like you have to collect something. There's something out there you have a lot of.
I used to collect Pokemon cards. Like, I was really into Pokemon cards. I had like 3 binders.
Okay.
One with all the rares and like my favorites. The other 2 were like extras,
Yeah.
energy cards, whatever else. And then I had a cat named Mittens at the time when I was a kid.
Okay, what'd you collect?
No, I said a cat named Mittens when
Yeah.
I was a kid, and he peed
Oh,
on my rare.
I
And
thought you were gonna say you
favorites
collected
binder.
cats. I was like, oh,
No. And it was. I mean, he was small. I mean, he was
Yeah.
a kitten, so he was
he was Mittens the kitten.
Mittens the kitten size.
Yeah.
And he peed like 2 liters worth of pee in there. Like, I don't even know how
You
he
threw him
got so
out?
much pee out. I didn't throw him out. That's oh, the cards, yes.
Yeah.
The cards were trash. I was like, you can't throw out a cat because he peed on your Pokemon cards. So yeah, I haven't really collected anything, I guess, since then.
I mean, actually, you know,
like, I don't collect things just to collect them.
you know what Ryan does have in terms of collections, though, and it's funny. It's stuff that I give him. Like, I give Ryan books. I give Ryan frames and pictures and all kinds of random shit all the time.
I have
Oh,
an
that's-
extensive Noosh collection.
Yeah, dude. Like, I give him all kinds of stuff.
That's probably what I collect. I have a lot of books.
Well,
Like,
that's not
a
really
lot.
collectibles, is it?
It is
It's-
collectible, but
yeah.
it's not weird. It's
Yeah.
very
It's
normal.
important to
But
you.
that'd
You
be
read
my current thing. Like, I'm always getting books,
Yeah.
even though I shouldn't, and read the ones that I have.
I really need to read the books I collect. Like, I'm buying them every month, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know.
You buy multiples.
That
so-
and I
We're
always
not-
get a bookmark.
We
So
don't have
bookmarks
time
and
to get
books.
into it, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Noosh, you've seen my room. It's like a freaking toy store in there.
It is. Actually, I mean, like, I've actually had him buy me stuff before. Like, I'm really into, like, well, I still am, I guess. I mean, I was, though, at the time, especially really into the Japanese
Super
Super
Sentai.
Sentai Gokaiger, right? The Power Rangers of Japan. And there was a particular rare Yellow Ranger figure that I really wanted because she's, like, my favorite character. And I had Ken buy it for me. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Because I find stuff
Oh,
like that.
dude, speaking of which, actually, there is something else I was collecting for a while it was like 2012. I was going through a phase where I really liked Gokaiger. Like, it was a cool story. Gokaiger, that entire brand of Power Rangers or whatever, they have these, like, special keys that, like, unlock their weapons or whatever. And each key is, like, based on a Super Sentai character from the past. So, like, 40 years worth of characters. And so I started collecting the keys. I was in the Philippines, and they had, like, vending machines for that stuff. It was like,
Oh my god, I remember that.
dude, here's the thing.
That
I
was-
would never have collected them if it wasn't for the fact that I went to the Philippines. I was like, dude, there's vending machines for this. Sweet. So I started collecting the keys, and I had, like, a bunch of them. I got rare ones that, like, you can't get here.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
That started being a thing, that trading of keys, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was for a little while. Now it's gone, but
It's amazing how, like, certain collectibles just, like, have, like, a really short shelf life. Because even, like, now, as you see amiibos, they're kind of, like, declining because it's not rare anymore, and people are like, we can't get money out of this, and now it's
you
just
know the
it's
balance
tapered
is
off.
you have to find this weird balance of you can't oversaturate the market, but you can't make it so rare that it's hard to get.
You
So it has to
can,
be
but
like
they're
well,
not
then
collectible
then
anymore. They're
then
just...
it becomes more like maybe down the line. It's like a 20 years from now, it'll be collectible. But right now, if you want to grow in popularity, it has to be this nice balance of rare
Yeah.
Yeah.
and also not saturated. So guys, we
We're late.
finished our dude. We have got to reorganize,
Way over on time.
calibrate. Yeah. So, how do you feel about our new season? Are you looking forward to it? Are you pumped for new
Yeah.
adventures of Ryan and Noosh are Dead?
You sound so enthused.
No, I mean, I am. I just don't want us to get in trouble for being in here too late
Nah,
and
we're-
get kicked out of the building.
So this is a first and last episode because we stayed over our time, and
Yep.
now
We're all fired.
We're all fired.
Yeah.
No paycheck.
What's
so
funny
hey-
about that is the first episode of our first season was also our
Yeah.
first and last episode.
So that's kind of a thing. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I have nothing to signal boost. Do you have anything you need? I'll signal boost this. Just please join us next week. Don't forget, we're going to be posting on our Facebook and our
Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram.
We have a
Yeah,
Tweet
Twitter.
at us, email us,
Yeah.
let us know what you like, didn't like. Would you go to the Penis Museum? Who knows?
Yeah.
We should take a poll.
Oh, yeah, we can set up a poll on,
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Would you go to the penis?
Would you go to the penis
Okay.
museum?
Okay.
Would you buy a scrotum lamp?
Would you buy a dick whip?
Ken, do you have anything to signal boost?
No, be back here really soon. Very, very soon.
Okay.
Right?
We
Probably.
can bring you back. You're our fourth unofficial. You're our weather guy. Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Am I supposed to go?
It's like this.
Williams.
It's like this. If Ryan and Noosh are like co-anchors,
Yeah.
you're the entertainment and you're weather.
So I'm not like sports. I'm the weather girl with the nice cleavage.
Yeah.
You're the nice cleavage.
I'm the nice
girl.
cleavage. Oh, that's
you're
actually
the
pretty
nice
good. I'd
cleavage.
rather be a nice cleavage.
You're the eye candy of the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So it is time to go, so we can actually play. What's the ending song gonna be?
It's
It's
you have it in front of you.
it's Dread Pit by Pyro.
No,
No,
it's Pyro by Dread Pit.
It's Pyro.
Strike that. Reverse
This is
it.
not my music, so this is Pyro by Dread Pit. Guys, join us next week. This has been Ryan and Noosh Are Dead. This has also been episode 2, The Last Harambe.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Yay.
Mike's out for Harambe.
Well, I said dicks because of the
Oh.
many,
to mess up
many
that
dick
tie-in.
Oh,
jokes.
shit, dude. You're right.
Yeah, you ruined my reference.
It
Cool.
really
Dicks.
is. Let's get
Play
out
us
of here.
out.
Dicks out for Harambe.
Ryan and Noosh Are Dead is made possible thanks to KDHR, the student-operated radio station of California State University, Dominguez Hills. For more information about KDHR, please visit www.kdhr.net. The intro song for this show is Space Ace by Blind. This music is made available thanks to Overclocked Remix. For more information, please visit ocremix.org.